Welcome to the JM Exchange podcast. Just have normal conversations with people from Cleburne, Johnson County area that are doing cool things and helping people out. I just wanted to say thank you to a few people that have helped me bring this together and make this happen. Number one, I want to thank God. I can't do this without him. I also want to thank my wife. She's given me great support and stayed behind me through this whole thing, and also family and friends that have given me support too. Want to give a thank you to Blake Jones Agency for allowing me to set up my studio. I want to thank Carson Luce for graphic design. I want to thank Jerry Lair with bjjloan.com. Reach out to him for any of your residential loan needs. John Bendes, and also the guests that come on and share their stories. Hope you enjoy the conversation. Thanks, y'all.
All right, and we're rolling. Jason Jones, good to have you here, man.
You too. How you doing?
I'm doing great, brother. Glad to have you here.
Yep, appreciate it.
So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everybody where you're born and raised. And
I'm Jason Jones. I am from Cleburne, Texas, born and raised in Cleburne, Texas. Literally right down the road from where this is located. It's kind of where I grew up for the first 5 years of my life. And then my mom married my dad, and we moved into Cleburne, and I lived over by Cook School and grew up over there, tearing up the streets, being a little skateboard delinquent. And,
I heard that, man.
Tearing up the streets and my knees and elbows and everything else. And I lived here forever, left for a little bit to go to college. Went to college at Stephen F. Austin. When I grew up, I was supposed to be a coach and an English teacher, but I don't like football, don't like baseball, not much on basketball, volleyball, so I don't really know what I was supposed to coach. And I was also supposed to be a literature teacher, not dots and commas, but like stories and stuff like that. So, but right across the street from my dorm was a fire station. And I'd always had an interest in, doing something public safety. I initially kind of thought I wanted to do the military thing, but parents weren't super keen on that. My dad, his father came from the military, and so he was gone a lot. He grew up, he was the youngest of like 7, I believe. And so he didn't really grow up knowing his dad because his dad died young and was World War II vet and that kind of thing. So I never met his dad. And then my grandfather had a big influence on my life, but he was in the military too. He was in the Air Force, and he was a tail gunner out of a airplane. So he was not real keen on the military thing either.
Right.
But anyway, just had a big draw to public safety, and I went to high school here, graduated here. So I can count to about 50. But anyway, so I went to school here, graduated here. Right out of high school, I was like, well, I'm going to get this going. So I enrolled in EMT school. Going to be an EMT. There used to be a show on all the time called Rescue 911.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's what I wanted to do. And so I get in EMT school, and I'm about, I don't know, a month into it, and they make this statement one night of, hey, you can't go to work anywhere till you're 21. And I graduated, I was 17. And so I was far and away. I had to get a waiver in order to get into the EMT school, because at the time of enrollment, I was still 17.
Huh.
So
how long is the EMT school?
It is, depending on where you go, how many days, nights you go. Like the program I was doing was, I remember I was like 3 months long for just EMT, because, different levels.
And then you can't go to work until you're 20.
At that time, of course, this is the 90s.
Yeah.
I graduated in 94. So in the 90s at the time, insurance carriers for ambulance companies wouldn't provide coverage for people unless they were 21. So for me to drive the ambulance. And at the time, and still to this day on a lot of things, there's not a lot that an EMT is going to be able to do. The majority of the time, the paramedic's going to be the one doing the work. The EMT is going to be the driver.
Gotcha.
So if most of my time's supposed to be spent driving, probably need that insurance coverage.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So anyway, found out. So I finished the school, and I played golf. A lot of people find that shocking, knowing me now, but I played golf all through high school. And And so played golf and went to Stephen F. Austin and went down there and did the whole school thing and all that, and really never got away from the idea of I wanted to get into public safety. Wasn't sure if I wanted to be a cop, wasn't sure what I wanted to do. But anyway, before I did all that, right after graduating, I got into martial arts. So, as a kid, I was always wanting to do martial arts, stuff like that. I was always the ninja anytime we played, stuff like that. I was just, in the 80s, there was a big ninja craze that swept across the world.
I remember, man.
So I was all, as they say, balls deep in it. I was all about it. And so that was just, had a super fascination with it, just blown away with it all. So I started getting really into that and started doing stuff, started taking karate and started doing that kind of thing, really got into it. And, pretty much right away started competing. And at the time, UFC wasn't a thing.
Nope.
At all, because we're talking 94.
Yeah, I think that's when
they started in 93.
Yeah, it started like a little bit before that, but it was
super underground.
It was taboo.
Yeah, it's super underground. Human cockfighting.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. And then like even the awareness of it, it just wasn't out there. There's nothing. Internet was just barely a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So didn't really know anything about it, but everywhere there was a karate school, and so I got involved in that. Started competing in the karate world and doing point karate and stuff like that, and just rose through the ranks of competition, and then earned a black belt in American karate at the time, and started competing still, and then went to Stephen F. Austin and got down there, and down there they had a taekwondo school. They didn't have a karate school. So I started doing traditional taekwondo, like what they do in the Olympics, where you just wear headgear and a vest, and they don't wear anything on their hands or on their feet.
Yeah, it's mostly kicking, right?
It's pretty much just kicking. Like they paid zero attention to punches. So like to score a point in that, you have to create what's called trembling shock. So it like has to affect the whole body for a kick to happen. You can knock somebody out, but you can't punch someone in the face. You can kick them in the face, and that's totally cool. What the difference is, I never could get anybody to explain that to me. Yeah. But here nor there. So anyway, did that down there. We were had a pretty competitive team on the taekwondo team down there, and won third in the college Olympics. As far as that goes, across all states, Stephen F. Austin that year, we won third in that thing. And then I had won my division, and then I was still doing the point karate thing. And so there was the big circuit was the Texas National Tour, and the NBL National Black Belt League, and Sport Karate International. And so I was competing in all that, and I became like the top seed, meaning I was the number one competitor for my region, and ended up winning the state championship that year.
Awesome, man.
98, I won that, and then the next year I won it again. And then in the NBL SKI, in the conference, they had the world broken up into conferences, North America. Mm-hmm. And I was fifth overall in all of the conferences and number one in my division.
Wow.
Yeah. So competed in all of that, really enjoyed it all. But had a real love for that, but also knew it was so hard to make a living.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so I still had this public safety bug. So Stephen F. Austin, like I said, lived across the street from a fire station, coming and going all night long, hearing that back and forth. And I was like, I wonder what they're headed to. I wonder where they're going. Stuff like that. So it just never really died. So time there was done. I come back, and like, I don't want to coach, and I don't want to be an English teacher. But I'm pretty interested in the body and thing that's going on with that. So I think something that would help me out is to go be a personal trainer. So I went to the Cooper Institute. So Kenneth Cooper, the guy that coined the phrase aerobics, mm-hmm. His institute is up in Dallas. So I went up there and became a personal trainer, and came back here, worked for a little while, worked for a few years, and I thought, someday I'm going to open up a martial arts school. And when I do, this is just going to only help. I'll know how to do it more professionally.
Yeah.
Because martial arts, still to this day, is kind of the Wild West.
Yeah.
It's pretty unregulated. And if you can bullshit people, you can pretty much open a school. And especially for the folks, like, to digress a little bit, for the people that like the smoke and mirrors of the martial arts world, and they like to sell snake oil, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a good enough car salesman, you can make people believe a lot of things, and then people are very impressionable and stuff like that. So if you come across as credible, you can get people to think you're really something.
Right.
And I didn't ever want to be that route. I wanted to be considered professional in what I was doing, and wanted to be credible, and wanted people to think, well, this isn't just some dude teaching karate. This is somebody that kind of has some insight to what's going on. And not only can he help me with this, but he's really, truly understanding what's going on. And then just inquisitive, also knew I wanted to start getting into really working out, lifting weights. How does that help this? And so on, because it was really taboo back then to lift weights and do martial arts, because it's going to make you slow. It's going to make you heavy. It's going to make you tight and stuff like that. So anyway, I just started dispelling all that. And I was like, that is just not the case. This is only helping. And so then we had the opportunity, when I back in Cleburne, my brother and my mother, they both started martial arts too. So the place that we started at, we bought the school from the guy. And so we bought his school. And when we started, we were in Keene. And then we moved to where the Allsups is at now. There used to be a little corner building there. It looked like a gas station.
I remember.
That little corner building is where we were at. And so we were there for a while. And then I was like, we need a bigger place, because school started doing good. We started doing well. And so we need a bigger place. Well, I started getting a student coming to me, and she had a martial arts school, and that she had somewhat taken over. And she was coming to me to get more training, to further her education and stuff like that. So I started working with her and so on. And finally, she just came to the realization, no discredit to her, but I'm a little overwhelmed and I'm out of my element. I love martial arts, but I don't know that I'm necessarily the one that should be running a school.
Gotcha.
So we took her school over. And so we moved to Cleburne. And so we had school here in Cleburne for a while, and we were at one location and started doing well. And about that same time, I enrolled in Fire Academy. And I was like, I'm still not going to let that die.
Yeah.
That's still what I want to do.
Still had it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I go to Fire Academy and I graduate. And when I get done, September 11th happens. So I graduated in February. September 11th happens because I graduated in 2001. And so at that time when I enrolled, it wasn't a big push for people to be in public safety. It was just kind of a thing that people did, but it wasn't like a thing, didn't have the limelight. So I enrolled in that, got into it. And then by the time I graduated, when September 11th happened, oh man, the list to get into anything public safety, especially firemen, was through the roof. I mean, places just couldn't pump out students fast enough. The problem is there's only X number of jobs, and cities typically only hire once, maybe twice a year. And very common that a city's only going to hire 1 to 2 per year. So you can see quickly how the market's flooded and the jobs are only so many. So anyway, I put in for somewhere, and right out of the gate, you have a job. I was outstanding, you know. And so about that time, we're like, well, let's go ahead and let's have this school thing. So, you know, having that 24-48 schedule, on my off days, I'll do this, and I can have the best of both worlds, have my cake and eat it too. So I was like, hey, this is working out. Beautiful. Fantastic. Well, right before I'm supposed to start, I get a phone call. Yeah, man. Anyway, about that, we decided to buy street equipment. So the 6th fireman we were going to hire becomes street equipment.
Oh man.
I'm not getting anybody. And I was like, okay. So then I hunt around for a while, still have the school thing going, keep it going. Everything's good on that end, working great. And I just have a job, and I'm still running into the thing, because to get hired at a fire department, you have to take a test, an entrance exam. Usually has nothing to do with being a fireman at all. So whether it's you taking it with no experience or me taking it, a fully functional, ready to go to work firefighter, doesn't matter. It's the test. You got to take it. And wasn't really the best test taker. I was middle of the road.
Same. I'm not very good at that either.
So the people that would come in and score a 90, well, that's who's getting looked at. It didn't matter if I was certified or not, with the exception of if I was a paramedic. Now, if I was a paramedic, right to the top of the heap you go. So anyway, so I was trying to get hired somewhere without being a paramedic, because the dream was, let somebody hire me, and then I'll make a salary while you send me to school.
Yeah.
That was the idea. So I held out for that for a while. I was teaching classes and stuff, and school was going good. So kept doing that, and I would go to school. And then when I wasn't at the school, then because I did the school on a shift schedule, a fire department schedule, so every 3rd day I went to school for paramedic school. I was in school maybe 3 months, and applied for a fire department. Boom, hired.
Nice.
Only because I was in paramedic school. Had no bearing on the fact that I was 7 months away from finishing.
Wow.
It's just the fact that I was in the school. I was a certified firefighter who was a paramedic student. So that put me right at the top of the heap. I didn't even take an exam. That's
Nice.
probably ultimately what helped me.
Yeah.
I didn't find out what an idiot I was till it was too late. So I ended up getting hired there, went to work there, and then taught classes. And then we had a school out at the mall. Big Cleburne, we used to have this thing called the mall.
Yeah. It's still there.
Yeah, the building's still there, but it's gone through many phases, right? But
that's for sure.
yeah. So and the fun thing about being at the mall, that was when we were at our biggest. I had more time to devote to it. Like I said, I had a 24-48 schedule. I was on 24, off 48.
Yeah.
So if I worked every day I was supposed to in a month, I only worked 10 days a month as a fireman. So had plenty of time to teach. But being in that mall, it was open. And so we had always opened the doors. And that was, a lot of times, that was around the time Napoleon Dynamite was a thing.
Yeah.
So the amount of people that would walk through there and just, bow to your sensei and stuff like that. Or they would walk by. I'd be in the middle of teaching class, just all super serious about stuff. And they'd walk by and they'd be like, forget about it, that kind of thing. And, yeah, man, it was just hysterical. So that was a lot of fun that came with being out there. Sometimes it was annoying. Other times it was just, for the most part, comical.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we were out there for a good long while, and it just kind of continued. I've never stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Never stopped doing it.
So you are the owner of Rogue MMA.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I've been a part of your school for a long time. I went a long time ago and kind of stopped and went back. And I know I've stopped again. I still plan on coming back.
Yep.
I'm just dealing with some shit, but getting old, I guess.
Yeah.
But I pump your school up a lot just because I know you, and I know you're training. And then I know that, jiu-jitsu got started there, and, there's a big push for that. And of course, I mean, for a lot of places you can pretty much throw a rock and hit a jiu-jitsu school, and, like Fort Worth or anything. But like around here, there just wasn't.
Yep.
And so that was really cool that got started too. And now you got judo classes that are going on there as well. Yeah. And I've always been pretty interested in that too. I'm gonna have to check that out, man, because I just can't get slammed on the ground at the moment.
We do have a big, thick landing pad up there now.
Nice.
For that. So it's like landing on a big pillow. It's big, so he probably won't miss.
Yeah.
But back in the day, we were operated as USA Martial Arts Academy. That's what we operated as. But as everything, I was fortunate enough early on when I started, that the guy that I had as an instructor, he was very open to the idea of incorporating other styles. So not just having blinders on and this is what we do nothing else exists. You know, my Kung Fu's better than your Kung Fu and it's the only way there is.
Yeah.
He didn't have any of that. And I was super fortunate because so many, even to this day, as ridiculous as it sounds, with as much proving ground as MMA has become and opened the world's eyes to what's BS and what's not.
Oh, for sure.
He was pretty much instrumental in allowing me to develop the idea of, well, what's that? Well, what's that? Hey, this didn't work, but this does. So forget that and let's do this. And so stuff like that, you know, and for me, there's a difference between martial arts, combatives, and fighting and sport MMA.
Mm-hmm.
They're the same. They're the same, but they're not.
Yeah, correct. There's rules that are attached to
correct
to it. So.
Yeah. So martial arts is, if you're taking a martial art for the perspective of learning an art form, I always use the same example, which is like if you want to learn how to do the salsa, well, that's a specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you go figure out and you learn how to do that, and you have someone teach you how to do that specific thing. And you get really good at the salsa if you devote time and energy and effort to it. But by no means does that mean you're a dance instructor.
Correct.
But you spent the time learning this one thing and you're really good at it in its one unique application. That is martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm awesome at Taekwondo and I'm in the middle of a fight for my life, yeah, nobody gives a shit about how good my turn back kick is.
Right.
It's not going to do me any good whatsoever. And so fighting is just that. And it's defending yourself. There's nothing pretty about it.
No.
And it is, a good fight should be ugly. And it should be effective, short, sweet, and hurt.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
So that is it. Combatives has the perspective of some type of either law enforcement or military type training to achieve an end goal of submission to the point of subduing someone in an effort to effect an arrest or put someone in a position to where they can no longer harm anybody. So you're trying to do the maximum amount, gain the maximum amount of control with the least amount of damage. That's a combative's mindset. And so they're three different things.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got MMA. Everybody knows UFC is a company. It is not a brand. You know, it's a brand. It's not a fighting style.
Yeah, correct.
That is MMA. So
yeah, because I mean, you got wrestlers, you got jiu-jitsu, you got Muay Thai, you got
it's all over the place.
Boxing. I mean, there's so much that goes.
Yes, and the conditioning involved with all of that is they're world class athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody that says otherwise, you've lost them.
Yeah, that is no joke.
Yeah, it is. Imagine running a sprint, running a marathon, and maxing out on a deadlift, a squat, and a bench press all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to do that for either, if in the amateur ranks, 3-minute rounds, or the professional ranks, 5-minute rounds. Imagine.
And it's great. And have that mindset at the same time, too, of when to dump, when not to dump, when to sprint, when not to sprint. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I've been a fan of the UFC's. I just remember going to Blockbuster, man,
and
like renting the videotapes, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
And there was no weight classes back then. Nope. I mean,
it was wild.
You could punch somebody else in the balls.
Yep.
And that was totally fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty wild back then. But it was widely entertaining just because of the fact is like you would have like a wrestler up against a Muay Thai guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you could see the deficiencies in both.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, well, I got to get more, versed in this. And then I got to get more versed in that. And then I remember when jiu-jitsu came along and he choked him out with his legs.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on there? That was so wild.
Yeah. My first exposure to it all, while I was doing martial arts early on. So like 96, I believe, we had this guy at this place we went to, and he was a military guy. He had a pretty rough job in the military. He was a Vietnam guy, and he dabbled in lots of substances early in his life, been a lot of places he shouldn't have been, stuff like that. The guy's passed away now. He turned his life around, became a really solid individual. But early in life, he went down the wrong path, right? And so he grew up rough. So he still had a little bit of that, I want to go get into some, so he starts doing a little bit of, not to sound like a movie, but a little bit of some underground, let's meet in a back alley and put $20 down and see who walks out of here kind of stuff on the weekends. And so smokers is what a lot of people would professionally call them now.
Yeah.
But he would do some stuff like that. Well, he ended up, one thing leads to another, and he hears about these guys that are training in Hearst at a karate school on Sunday mornings. Well, these guys are fighting in Hawaii at this thing called the Super Fight Challenge. And what it was the early UFC guys. So Trey Telligman, Ken Shamrock, Jerry Bolander, Pete Williams, people like that, your early pioneers of the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would meet up there on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. and just maul the shit out of each other. And I knew nothing about it. I didn't know what any of it was. Well, Jack calls me one morning, and Jack was the guy that kind of got me headed that way. And he was like, hey, come with me. I was like, all right, what are we going to do? He goes, want to fight? And I was like, are we learning to do so? He goes, oh, you'll learn.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, cool.
One way or another, you're going to learn something.
Right. So I'm like 19 and ignorant. So I was like, cool, man, let's go. We get up there. Yeah, welcome to the ass whooping. Yeah. And I was just fresh meat, right? And of course, I was like 160 pounds then. So I was just all pumpkin head, no neck, skinny as a rail. And all I knew how to do was kick and punch. I didn't know anything else even existed.
Yeah.
Right. And so, because that's all I'd ever really done up to that point. And so they were like, oh, so you're a striker guy. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, cool. Are you fast? And I was like, yeah, actually, I'm kind of fast. And so like, perfect. And so they were like, just stand up and try to hit us and kick us and stuff like that. That's exactly what we want. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'll start moving around and throwing kicks and punches here and there. And I throw a couple picks and then I fly across the room, land on my head. The guy sits on top of me and boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, whoa. What is going on here? This is like a fight. And he's like, did you not tell this guy what was going to happen? And I was like, you son of a bitch. So anyway, I got my ass whipped repeatedly. But we would go up there and I was like, I got to learn how to wrestle. I got to learn how to do jiu-jitsu. And there was this guy up there that was teaching these guys. And that was my first introduction to what jiu-jitsu was in 1995.
Wow.
Yeah. If I would have started then and stuck with it forever, then, I'd be considered like one of the pioneers, if you will. But it just, at the time, it still didn't have the traction that all the other things did.
Unless you're like California.
Yeah. So I still did that, but I just didn't enjoy it as much. Who enjoys getting the shit kicked out of them? But I really enjoyed the other thing. You got a lot of people that when they dabble in different things, they have one style that kind of suits them that they like better than another. And it's your go-to, if you will. Striking just always just made sense, really made sense to me. Caught it really quick, really, really enjoyed it. Jiu-jitsu has always been work. Always been work for me.
Definitely work.
Yeah. And like there's other folks, like at the school now, they come to the striking classes, and I'm not crapping on anybody, but they come to the striking classes after doing the jiu-jitsu classes. They get in the striking class thinking they're going to have the same success, and then they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who I don't see anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, nobody likes getting punched. Mm-hmm. Nobody likes getting kicked. It makes total sense. I'm the only oddball, I totally understand, to enjoy getting the hell knocked out of them. I get it. But anyway, so that was kind of my initial welcome to jiu-jitsu, if you will.
Yeah.
And so that's the first time I ever saw it.
Gotcha. So I do have a question. Who did you study your karate under?
His name was Guy James.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Guy James.
Yep. Guy James.
Great guy.
Yeah, nobody in a million years would ever think that guy, no pun intended, was did what he did.
Yeah.
He was a world champion in the NBL SKI world of point fighting. He was number one at one point.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
in like 94, 95. There was a circuit, so we traveled all over, going to these different tournaments and stuff like that. And on the weekends, like we would go to San Antonio twice a year. We go to Houston twice a year. We go to, because there's always a fall and a spring. We go to Austin. And so there are always these big tournaments. And we chased that tournament circuit. And it was weird once I became a black belt, when I ended up coaching him.
Yeah.
So that was a full circle kind of weird thing at first as well.
Yeah, I didn't know you trained at her. I did know he was a black belt in karate, but I did not know that.
Yeah, I believe at this point now he's a 9th degree black belt. I was fortunate. So backstory: the guy that brought Taekwondo or American karate to America is a guy named Jun Rhee. And he's a Korean fellow, and North Korea, South Korea, big fallout.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of South Korea left, came to America. And so you had the one faction and then the other. And so there's traditional Taekwondo and there's international Taekwondo. International Taekwondo is what Jun Rhee brought here. Well, his first 2 students were in San Marcos, Texas, because he leaves Korea and lands in San Marcos, of all places,
Yeah.
at a military base. And his first 2 students were a guy named Alan Steen and J. Pat Burleson. Those are considered your pioneers for Texas martial arts, United States martial arts as well, in regard to striking.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, at this time, jiu-jitsu is not a thing in this
Yeah.
part of the world.
Yeah.
But they are the ones that they were his first 2 black belts. And so then they ended up relocating, if you will, to the Dallas area. And so Alan Steen had a school in Dallas, and Guy James, as a kid, his mom would take him up there for lessons. And
Wow.
so he went up there, and that's where he trained early on in life, was with him. Well, then later on, he moved to J. Pat Burleson. Pat Burleson had a school in Azle, and so he was more this area. So then he became this area's representative of that, and he was the first heavyweight world karate champion. So like there's a famous picture of him and Bruce Lee at the Long Beach Internationals whenever Bruce Lee made his debut, if you will, among the martial arts world.
Wow.
Was at that tournament, and J. Pat Burleson won that tournament.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So I did all my training under Guy, and then early on, Pat, because of Bruce Lee, he had developed this mindset of cross-training is so important. You need to open your eyes to other styles because, in this era, we're talking Joe Louis, who's considered one of the best, greatest karate fighters of all time. Chuck Norris, may have heard of him. And then you got Pat Burleson. You got a guy named Bill Wallace, Superfoot. And so you've got all of these different people. A guy named Jim Harrison, and he was a redheaded dude, and he was bodyguard for Elvis. And then Ed Parker, so he was Kenpo. It's a different style, completely different, but Ed Parker was there. He was on that initial board of people that were the who's who in the martial arts. Ed Parker is who Elvis took his karate from. So like, a lot of his uniforms he would wear on stage, that's a gi.
Yeah.
And the dance moves, that's Kenpo. Yeah. So that's what a lot of that was.
Yeah.
And then, so a lot of people like that, those are the folks that kind of got their start, and that's who Guy started with. And then whenever it was time for me to get my black belt, J. Pat Burleson's actually who I got my black belt from.
That's awesome, man.
So that's who, so under J. Pat Burleson, that organization, I'm a 6th degree black belt under that. And so, but I always started cross training. So, did Taekwondo, I did karate, I did Muay Thai, I did Aikido. I've never really been a fan of the soft styles. So what they call the soft arts, it doesn't equate you to being a big vag. It Soft arts, hard arts. I've been always drawn to the hard art sorts of things, with the exception of jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is considered it's actually the gentle art.
Yeah. Makes sense though.
But like your Kenpo, your Kung Fu, your Wushu, stuff like that, those are your soft arts. Your hard arts are your karate, your Taekwondo, your Muay Thai, and boxing, wrestling. Those are your hard styles. That's just always been more geared for me. That's what I liked. I didn't like. The other one is definitely like early on when I said martial arts and then fighting. For me, the effectiveness of the hard arts is no comparison to the soft. However, the amount of, if you are a very seasoned, long-term practitioner of the soft arts, yeah, I'm sure you could make those sorts of things work in a way that would work for you. But Joe Blow public that just needs training and they're going to have 3 months and that's it, the likelihood of their success is pretty low.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. But I've seen it time and time again. So that's why I base it that way, because I've firsthand witnessed it to be the case. Small, intricate moves compared to big, gross motor skills. Because as our heart rate goes up, our brain goes down. And so when you're expecting me to remember fine-tuned things when I'm in a panic-induced stress environment, the likelihood is not very good unless I've repped this move over and over and over again and can do it without thought.
Correct. Yeah. And that's kind of, well, example jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It is an over and over and over and over and over again thing until you can actually recognize like, oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do that. Oh, I can do this. And what is it like, with jiu-jitsu, I think the biggest mindset is like you want to do as little as possible with the greatest effects. Yeah. And because you want to save, you want to save the brain. You want to save your heart rate, save all these things. I gotta admit, like doing it definitely teaches you how to breathe.
Oh, for sure.
Because
nothing makes me as tired as that does.
Yeah. I mean, you got somebody on top of you sitting, on your belly, so you can't breathe deep. They're smothering you. They're putting their hand over your face and stuff like that. And you got to calm your mind down and get out of it.
Yeah. Everywhere you move for relief,
they're going to put more pressure.
They go and put more pressure there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're playing checkers and they're playing chess.
100%.
Yeah. And it's a 5-minute disaster. Yeah.
I could totally agree with that.
Yeah. And that's just that's how it works. But that male ego is why so many people won't do it.
Yeah.
Because nobody likes that humility. Nobody likes that. Most people don't. Men are the worst.
Yeah.
Myself included. I mean, I'm a bit of a psycho having done it this long, and this amount of time devoted to it. But I understand completely. It's not a normal mindset for most people.
No, for sure.
But the benefits that come from it are immense.
Well, just in everyday life too.
Yeah, there's tons of applications.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree, man. If you think that you're in really great shape and you can lift weights and do CrossFit and you can do all this stuff, go take a couple of jiu-jitsu classes and tell me how good a shape you're in after that.
Yeah, get stuck in knee on belly after a 2-minute round. They're in the middle of it.
And it's amazing how a 185-pound guy can do some knee on belly to you, and he feels like he's like 500 pounds.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's humility for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. It definitely humbles you.
Yeah.
So, and if you think you're getting good at something, with jiu-jitsu,
there's always somebody
better.
Yeah, and the amount of nerds that love it because it's so cerebral, that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Because they have, especially like if you're young and you don't have a ton of responsibilities, you don't have families, you maybe not have that career yet, and you're able to go 5 days a week, and that's all they do is sit and think about that crap. I mean, those people, they are so far ahead of where, your hobbyist 2 days a week kind of guy is ever going to be. And so, but that doesn't mean that there's not benefit for the hobbyist 2 days a week guy either, because something's better than nothing, for sure. But yeah. So anyway, that kind of thing is how I kind of got started in the martial arts. And then I just selfishly never wanted to quit. I never wanted to do it at all. Taught for a college for a while. People would enroll at Hill College, and for their PE credit, my class was an elective. So instead of doing weightlifting or aerobics, I think it was, then they could come and take my class. Teaching for the college is also the only time I've ever been sued.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, that makes sense why you don't do it anymore. I was about to say when I went, I was like, if I would have known that was an elective, I probably would have went there instead because the weightlifting was a joke.
Yes.
That, I mean, there was no instruction. There was no anything.
Disaster.
It was just,
There
hey, go in there and lift those weights around.
Yeah. Go get them, Chow.
That was like one of the first times that I hurt my back.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure.
Doing shit wrong.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have any coaching. I mean, he would just show up and unlock the door and be like, all right, I'll see y'all later, and like leave.
Yeah. Well, it was a good experience. It was fun. It was enjoyable. It was getting people in there that have never done a thing before. And it was giving them a decent opportunity to do something that could actually be productive or worthwhile.
Yeah.
And if I ended up with a student out of it long-term, great. If I didn't, that's okay too. But did that class, and the lawsuit was just a frivolous bunch of garbage, somebody looking for a money grab.
Yeah.
Ended up losing her ass. But that happened. That's the only time that has ever actually occurred. If you run things in a professional way, you do things the right way, you really don't have much to worry about.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people think that it's you're going to get into it and you just got to be super tough. You got to be super fit. You've got to be mean. You got to be ultra aggressive. And that it's survival of the fittest. There is that avenue if that's the way you want to go. Especially in today's world, that's more the MMA route for somebody that wants to compete. Somebody walks in the door, first thing I ask, what are you looking to do? And if they tell me I want to be in the UFC, I want to compete, I'll just straight up tell them, hey man, cool, this is not the place for you, especially if you're in a hurry. If you want to get your feet wet, you've never done anything before, you have no idea what it is that you're saying you want to do, and you just want to try it out and see, what's it like to hit something? What's it like to move with somebody? What's it like to get hit? What's it like to hit someone? We don't do this on night one.
Yeah.
But then those type of folks, then we'll tell them, hey, this is a place for you to start. But if you see something you're serious about and you really plan on competing and you want to jump in the ring, not jiu-jitsu, but actual MMA cage fighting, if you will, then I just straight up tell them, hey, this isn't the place for you. Because you need to be going somewhere that's not a hobbyist place. You need to be going to another place that's full of ego, that's full of alpha male, that all wants to rip each other's head off. And every single night, it's a dick measuring contest about who's the biggest and the baddest in the room. Because if that's what you're after, that's who you need to be training with, because that's who you're going to be fighting.
That's who you're going to be fighting, exactly.
And you need to devote 4 to 5 days a week to doing that, not 2 hours a week. This is just disaster, especially depending upon where you go, and crappy promoters and shitty people. They're just looking for bodies.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're fresh meat that doesn't know shit and you can take a punch and get knocked out, hey, that sells tickets, because everybody loves a little Instagram 3-second clip of somebody getting their head knocked off.
Yeah.
So promoters are shitty. And,
yeah.
They're not your best interest at heart.
Yeah. There's lots of vampires out there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do. I mean, there's just those people that want to suck the money out of you.
Yeah. So, when those people come in and that's what they're dead set on want to do, I just straight up say, hey, this ain't the place for you. Yeah. It's not that I don't want to help them. It's just I'd be doing them a disservice by trying to BS them that I'm the right place for them.
Yeah.
I'm not a money grab guy either. I know what we are and I know what we're not. And I don't pretend to be anything but. Like a lot of people think this is crappy when I say it this way, but I couldn't be more honest. I do a 2-week trial. It's for me. It's not for you. Kind of for you, but it's mainly for me.
Yeah.
I want to know if you're going to fit and if this is going to work. I do this for fun. And if you're going to make this not fun, you can leave.
Yeah, you don't want any part of that, which I understand.
So,
because everybody at your school, man, very polite, very nice, will take you aside, work with you.
Right.
It's great. And honestly, it can, even though they are nice people that are there, it's funny. Yeah. Sometimes I'll throw like a leg kick or something like that and be like, oh yeah, that was nice. And then bam, 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 bam.
Right.
And then,
it's not daycare.
I got answered.
Right. It's not daycare. It's not a bunch of people
You're
walking
gonna get
around.
hit. You're gonna get hit.
Yeah. it's not giving people hugs.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is, like when you're a kid and you get in a fight with somebody, and after you get in a fight with them, y'all are best friends for life.
Yeah.
It's kind of that mentality.
Yeah.
We may try to murder each other while we're there, but then afterwards, couldn't be better to one another.
Yeah.
It's because we got nothing left to prove.
Huh? Yeah, I've seen you spar with some of the guys too, and y'all go, and it's fun to watch. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, I don't want any part of that because I'm just going to get my ass kicked for no reason.
Yeah, you just you have to gauge who you're doing that with, how long they've been coming, that kind of deal. I mean, I'm not Mr. Wonderful, but at this point, I'm not competing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I stopped competing. 2005 is the last time I competed in any type of striking. I did some jiu-jitsu tournaments in 19, 20, and 21. Jiu-jitsu you can get away with, but public safety world, and then I was an officer as well, so they don't like you if you're the face of the fire truck.
Yeah.
To have big black eyes and fat lips and busted noses and looking like a thug.
I can understand that too.
It was a little frowned upon. They knew that I did it. Plus, as a side job, and then being in public safety world, I had to have permission to do that. And so there's always the risk of injury, and everybody thinks, like I was saying, I'll get sidetracked all the time, but a lot of people believe that it's very unsafe. The injuries are super high. Very likely you're going to get hurt. Really?
Yeah.
Because the amount of safety built into it and trying to take care of each other. And that's the importance of, I don't have an ego-filled mat room because I don't walk through Walmart handing out flyers and putting them on cars.
Right. Yeah.
I'm kind of a shitty business person. I'm terrible. I'm not good at social media. I don't do much of it. And I do not argue with people. I just don't have the time. Mainly, I don't have the energy or the care. I'm not a good self-promoter. I hate talking about me. I figure you come do the class, and as we're doing the class and as I'm talking to you and you're learning or not, but as we're going through it, you're going to figure out whether I know what I'm doing or not.
Mm-hmm.
That sells itself. So that's how I'm going to show you I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Is by that, through the actions and the output, and then what you get out of it in return.
Mm-hmm. This
This isn't about me. I can blow smoke and mirrors up your ass forever, but at a certain point, I got to prove it.
Right.
And that's what I really love about jiu-jitsu is you got a lot of these other martial arts. Well, we can't practice what we're doing because we'll hurt people, or well, we don't spar because our stuff's too dangerous, silly shit like that. But it's said all the time. Well, how you going to learn to fight if you never get in one?
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's kind of hard. And so with jiu-jitsu, at some point, we're going to roll. You can't bullshit your way through that.
Nope.
We're going to find this out real quick if you're full of shit or you're not. That's what I love about that.
Mm-hmm.
And the ego of it. Am I going to win? Not a chance. No, I'm not going to win everything. Not at all. You know what, though? I don't care. Don't care at all. Fantastic. You know how much I learn? You know how much I try to improve that? The motivation to get better at that by you beating me is immense.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And if I'm just the hammer over and over and over, the motivation starts dropping.
Yeah. You got to be the nail sometimes to learn.
So it's fantastic. And starting the jiu-jitsu program like we have, that room is far and above where I'm at.
Man.
With Jerry, it's been amazing.
They're training.
And we got some go-getters.
Oh, man.
They are all about it. And it's great, and I love it. And they're hungry. They're wanting to compete all the time. They're going after it. And that kind of thing is fantastic. And the fact that they're rising above me and all that, I'm super cool with it.
Yeah.
Couldn't be happier. Because the amount of stuff that the martial arts has done for me, for my life, to see what it's doing for other people as well, for me, that's what I'm after. So there's a lot of days I can't be there. I'm there one day a week.
Yeah.
But we're not open one day a week.
I know.
And that's because I've been fortunate enough to have other people that want to help and want to share. So at this point, I own the business and I teach classes, and I primarily teach the kids and the striking. That's what I do. And I enjoy doing that. But at this point, I'm trying to build community. martial arts community. And so I realize I can't be there. So if I just control it to the point that people can only train when I can train, man, we're missing out on a lot of people.
Yeah.
So you build some trust with some people who are willing and share the same mindset that you do. And you empower them to grow and to get better and to help spread and share. And that's how that community furthers.
Oh, yeah.
And so at this point, that's where I think that's more of what my position is.
Yeah.
Is for that. I mean, I still want to compete. I still like sparring. I sparred last night. I still enjoy doing it and that kind of deal. But the time that I have available is a small window. I have to live by a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I wear a lot of hats, as we all do, but my hats just take me away from there sometimes. But that doesn't mean that the place can't be open.
Yeah, 100%. And man, the people that are in there, I love everybody that I've met in there, especially the people that have been going, since it started. The guys and gals there, they're very determined, smart. We'll work with you because, even when I was showing up and I was still injured and stuff like that, they're, taking it easy on me. They're not. But, it's, what you were talking about. Every time I would, okay, got me, tap, all right, so what'd you do? How do I keep that from happening again?
Right.
And just learn and just keep doing that over and over and over again. And then, there was times when somebody would show up brand new too. And,
sure,
I get a tap and I'm like, I remember my first tap. I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Even though it really didn't mean, it meant something to me because I was like, this is the first time it's happened. I've been coming for months.
Right.
But immediately I was like, I will tell you exactly what I did. I'm not trying to teach you or anything else. And we can go to the coach or with this, but this is what I did.
Yeah.
You did this, I did this, and set you up. And
sure. But at the same time, being able to vocalize that, the amount of learning that creates for you is through the roof.
Yeah.
Because, the old saying, if you want to know whether you know something or not, teach it to someone. Because if you can, chances are you know it pretty good.
Yeah, and I do try to not be, the white belt that's in there trying to teach the class either.
It is what it is, and that's okay. The main thing, the good thing about that is, what are you doing? You're sharing.
Yeah.
You're showing other people, you're passionate about this. Now, the amount of people that come and go, it's through the roof. It's like 1 out of every 1,000 that join will ever reach a black belt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's regardless of the martial art that you do. Jiu-jitsu, it's even less because of the amount of time that it takes for most jiu-jitsu schools. The average person, it's 8 to 12 years to get a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
There are people that do it faster for sure because they have more time and so on. I do know a guy who is a fabulous jiu-jitsu practitioner. He got his in 5 years.
Yeah,
From white belt to black belt. However, that's all he did.
Yeah.
He did nothing else.
I know.
Nothing else.
What was the BJ Penn? I think got his in 3 years.
Yeah.
Which is
same deal.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, those people are out there, those people that live in the gym that have the ability to, yes, you definitely can do that, but that's not most folks. And then most people, unfortunately, there's usually an injury here or there because whether it's self-induced or shit happens, it's not a cooking class.
Yeah.
So there are some things that happen. Sometimes your ego got in your own way and got you hurt too, because, it's common cliched thing, but everybody should look at it as, when I'm in here, I'm a scientist in the laboratory and this white gi is my lab coat.
Yeah.
I'm learning. I'm experimenting with things. So if the experiment just doesn't go right, guess what? I need to tap and say, we need to start again.
Yeah.
If you won't, you may end up hurt. So that definitely happens, but you try to limit that. That's also where a good coach comes into play.
For sure.
Hey, I'm not here for my ego, and so that is something I really try to get a good grasp on. There's nights I want to train that I don't get to train because my role is to teach. And if I'm worried about my own training, what am I not doing for you?
Yeah.
I'm probably not focused my time and energy and attention on you, especially the newer you are. Now, like, you've been coming for a while, you've kind of got all the basic stuff figured out, and you just need some work. Oh, that's fantastic, because now we can work and teach while we do. And so that's super fun. But there are nights that I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And then you get the other side of that, and what a lot of people never think of this way. Nobody wants to work with me.
Oh, I would spar with you all the time.
But the problem is, most people expect it that, what am I going to do? I'm going to try to kill you. I'm going to try to hurt you. I'm going to.
I never felt that
I'm
way.
not that way at all.
No, I just remember you would punch me in the nose every time, and you'd be like, you're leading with your head every single time. And then you would just kind of, I mean, you weren't knocking me out or anything. You were just kind of pop a little hot pepper, and you'd be like, you're leading with your head again. And then I'd come in again, you pop, you're leading with your head again.
Yeah. So, in all actuality, I should be the safest one in the room.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because I know what I'm doing, and I know if I'm going to blast you, if I'm going to tap you. Whereas you're against another student at the same level as you, y'all are murder demons trying to go at each other.
Yeah.
You should worry more about your cohort than you should be worried about me.
100%.
But that's not how most people look at it.
Which is it's 100% true though.
But that's definitely the way more people should look at it, but most don't. Most people are very reluctant to want to, and I always have to reassure, hey man, I'm not here to win, and I'm not trying to impress you, and I'm not trying to impress me. At this point, I'm here for you. Just relax. Let's have fun. This is a hell lot better than running on a treadmill.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So let's just do that.
I definitely meant that. And full disclosure too, my injury, it did happen in your gym, but it wasn't anybody else's fault. I just did something wrong, and it was not the one thing that just kind of put me over the top. It was years of other things that got me to the predicament that I'm in.
Yeah.
I basically just locked up the whole right side of my body, and I'm still trying to figure it out.
I've broken every finger. I've broken every toe. I deviated septum, broken nose, I just in 2018 had the whole rhinoplasty, septum straightened, couldn't breathe through one side of my head at all.
Oh, how awesome is it to be able to breathe?
Yeah, it's like I got a turbocharger. But yeah, I mean, deviated septum, the whole works. I had to get everything roto-rooted out, sinuses completely closed, cavities dropped, all that mess.
Man.
I've knee surgery, ankle surgery, 3 separated shoulders. Most recent injury was a torn meniscus that I fixed through peptides. Whole nother digress. But and then prior to that, last summer, tore my hamstring off the bone up in the hip section, and had to have surgery on that.
So you did I remember you telling me about it. I never brought it up because I know you were trying to keep it quiet or whatever. But
yeah, I didn't want a workers' comp thing to be involved.
Yeah. So you did have to have surgery on it?
I did.
Because I know you were doing a Rosti and some other things I think of.
Yeah. Ended up having to have surgery on it to get it done and that kind of deal. I just scheduled it during a vacation.
Well, that works.
Workers' comp, that's a whole nother topic. But I never wanted to go that route. One, didn't want to miss, it's weird to sound, didn't want to miss work. And then 2, I wanted say-so. I wanted input as to who was doing what to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so workers' comp, you don't necessarily get that. And then their timetable, just because I'm in a hurry doesn't mean they are.
True.
And then workers' comp, their goal is not to make you whole. Their goal is to fix the injury that occurred, not to get you whole.
Correct.
And so that was not my goal.
I'm finding out that most medical with insurances and stuff like it's the same way.
Yeah.
They're willing to throw anything
100%.
at you, and they don't care about. I'll ask questions, and they're like, yeah, but this will fix you, and then
It's a business.
and it doesn't.
Yeah, it's a business. That's it. It's a
the last
money-making machine.
Yeah, the last one was they wanted to go in and do the injections, and once they found the spot in my spine, then they were gonna cut me open and fry all the nerves off. And I was like, okay, but it's not necessarily a spinal injury.
Yeah.
It's just nerves, that are wrapping around through my rib cage and stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, but I think if we get that, taken care of, then your body will relax and then everything will kind of happen. And I was like, okay. So then I started talking to people that had the same thing done. And they're like, it's a 3-month cycle, man. Did they go in there and you'll feel good for month 1. Month 2, you're like, okay, the pain's coming back. And then month 3, you're just waiting so you can go back and get them fried off again. And I was like, I'd rather just live with this every day.
Yeah.
I've been living with it 3 years. I mean, why go spend a bunch of money to chase dragons or whatever it is?
For maybes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the body is a weird thing. And it's kind of weird how one little thing can set off
so many
other things, and you got to find out what the root cause of it is for you can actually start healing correctly.
Yeah, it's wild. And then the amount of fixes that are actually available and out there, they restrict because they're not after cures.
Mm-hmm.
They're after customers.
Yeah, I want you to keep paying that money.
Yeah. And that's a shame, but that's not my area.
Yeah, no.
But I mean, it just kind of, the internet has opened people's mind to a lot of things to show how true that is. And if you want to listen to podcast after podcast about, pharmacy benefit managers and all kinds of things like that and the scam that it is, it is eye-opening to listen to.
Very, very much so. I think that you got big food and big pharma and big insurance. It's just a big circle.
100%.
They want to feed you poison to make you sick. They want to give you pharmaceuticals to treat one thing, but then cause other things. So you have to keep coming back to get more pharmaceuticals. And next thing you know, you're taking 80 pills a day for God knows what. And probably half of them are causing the other problems that you're dealing with.
And why am I watching commercials on doctor's office visits?
Yeah, no joke. Well, just watch TV.
Yeah.
And, 50% of the commercials at least are pharmaceutical commercials. And you know what the funny thing is like half the time, I don't even know what the fucking commercial is about. Right. It's just a bunch of happy people and they're happy and they're like, yeah, you should try this. And then it's kind of funny where they're like, hey, don't take this drug if you're allergic to it. And how the hell do you know if I'm allergic to it? Then they go through the side effect list and you're like,
at some point you're definitely going to hear nausea and diarrhea.
Yeah. And it's
like, oh, I'll take 2.
Yeah. I mean, it's just wild. It's just wild.
Yeah.
And we're one of the only countries that allow,
I think it's like 1 of 5.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. It's super stupid.
Yeah. I agree with that.
But and then if you look at the amount of companies that pharma's actually owns and then sub companies that they own, and it's just so cyclical.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's terrible. Terrible.
Do your research, people.
Yep.
That's all I can say about that, I guess.
But the peptide thing, man, it's been a game changer.
Yeah. So I did a round of peptides for my deal as well. Obviously, it's not a cure-all.
No.
It's not a cure-all, but it definitely helps. I probably need to get on another round of them now that I've started a little program. And I'm really feeling like where I'm weak. Yeah. And it is kind of crazy that my body just doesn't want to work in a certain way to be able to strengthen those muscles to where I could just sit up to where I could sit up straight. Right. I want to sit crooked constantly. And it's years of sedentary work and, lean into one side and being comfortable there. And then you go to try to move, weights, you have somebody on top of you and you're trying to move a certain way. And then next thing, you move a part that's too weak. And that's the predicament kind of that I kind of got into. And I have a feeling it was mostly from weights, not really the martial arts part of it.
Yeah. Gotcha.
That's where it happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, all right. So you did mention that you do other trainings and stuff like that too, besides martial arts.
Yeah, so I was in the fire service and did that from 01 to 14, and I was a lieutenant, so I was on a truck, and then moved up from there to being an EMS director for a private company, and so ran the whole EMS division for a private training company on basically to teach people if you wanted to do a CPR class or you wanted to become a paramedic, everything that was involved with that, the state regulations, the national regulations, hiring instructors, putting the programs together, the classes, the drills, the tests, just everything from pen to paper, so on, from start to finish, scheduling ride-alongs, reaching out to ambulance services, hospitals, ERs, going to psychiatric wards, going to cath labs, going to, L&Ds, labor and deliveries, scheduling just any and all of that, and then overseeing it all and that kind of stuff. That was kind of what that job was. And then going around hiring instructors, making sure that these people are teaching what needs to be taught, meeting all the training points. Had students from right here all the way to Qatar. So most people say Qatar. But that far out, that side of the world, Middle East.
Oh, wow.
Coming from over here. Would have soldiers. It was an online company. So they you'd do your coursework online, and then to find out whether you were full of crap or not, we made you come to a boot camp. And when you came to your boot camp, every day you had to take these same online tests that you smoked. You'd have to take those in front of us every day. And we'd find out real quick who was full of it and who was not. And we made everybody have a 80 average. And if you fell below an 80 average, then we'll see you. We know you didn't learn the material. Because chances are, if we make you carry an 80 average, when it comes time to take that state licensing, or at that time it was the national licensing exam, you're usually going to have a minimum of a 10-point drop-off. And if we make you be 10 points above on average, your likelihood of success is higher.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's kind of how I ran that, and why I did it that way, for that reason. Because, some people are terrible test takers, some people super bad test anxiety, some people they read the question to say one thing when it actually says another, because they're skimming. So stuff like that. So if we just keep people stay a buffer, their likelihood of success on the actual test itself was way greater. So they would come to us and actually do the actual coursework, and then the hard skills. So how to intubate somebody, how to start IVs, how to crike somebody, how to needle decompressions, just all the different skills that a paramedic would do. We would have them come to us, and under the tutelage of an instructor, who all the instructors were in the field employed firefighter paramedics, that they worked for different agencies all across the Metroplex. And they would come to us, and then we would hire them, because they were the ones out in the field. They were the ones out there in the trenches, if you will, knowing what's the latest and the greatest and what's going on. And then you're getting a variety of input, because, you and I both know how to change a flat on a car, but you may have been shown one little thing a little different than what I was shown, and your thing works for me, or my thing works for you. So the variety of instruction like that really kind of grasped, because everybody's a different type of learner. So
for sure,
that attitude, that approach really kind of seemed to gravitate a lot of different students, and they could really understand well. So through that mentality, and then it would change every day, because the instructors they could be there 2 days in a row, or at a certain point then they had to go back to the station. So on that day we get a different guy. So it was constantly changing, and they're hearing the same thing different ways. One way's usually going to stick.
Yeah. No,
that's all we need is one way.
That makes sense.
So that's how we did a lot of that. But nationally, they made some changes to where the only way you could teach a paramedic program was to be affiliated with a college. So there's politics involved with that. And the company we were with, there's already a college in the area that had a program. And statistically, we beat them. So they were not very likely to side with us because our program was doing better than theirs. So anyway, that ran its course. And then took a break from public safety for a little bit, did something that paid the bills, was grateful to have it at the time, but I hated every second of it. Couldn't stand it. I'm not meant for the corporate public world, if you will. I'm just not meant for it. It's just not my thing. And then it was Groundhog Day every day.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't fit me. I just did not enjoy it. And the monotony of it all. And so every day was rough. It was rough. It just, and then, the kind of like in the military, the camaraderie, the hang with the boys.
Yeah.
And, that sort of thing that's going on with it, that was just so hard to not have anymore.
I can imagine.
That was super
you
difficult.
Just go and cut up all the
yeah,
time.
just
and
always busting each other's balls,
and now
playing
you're just
jokes.
stuck in an office where you can't, talk
You
shit
gotta-
about Fred over there.
And if you do start talking, she's like, "Look at this idiot. What the hell is he thinking?" Then they want like, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
Would you say something like, because it's funny?"
Yeah. I thought it was funny.
And so you saying things like that, and people are just like, "What's wrong with this guy? Golly, what a loose cannon we've got here." Yeah, that kind of thing.
I'm sure I've been thought about that quite a bit in time.
So that sucked for me. I did not like that at all. So it's like, I got to get back. I got to get back into public safety. But I didn't want to be a fireman anymore. I really loved the EMS side of it. I really did, which is, all the firemen out there that may listen to this will be like, "Oh, what's wrong with this guy?" I enjoyed being a medic more than I did being a fireman. So, like in my opinion, and this is another thing, not real popular, but you shouldn't have a third city service running your ambulance. You should have your fire department running your ambulance, because you're going to get more care. You're going to get better care. They're going to get better training, and the turnover is way less, because somebody gets hired at a fire department, they're there 20 years.
Yeah.
There's no absolutes, but by and large, people
Usually
get a fire job, they stay. They're in it for the long haul. Yeah. So, whereas your private EMS, your third city service, hey man, that's churning and burning. I'm here for the short time. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So the training that they get is less, because the oversight is so hard to keep up with, because you're new all the time. There's always a new guy. And so it's difficult to make that person valuable, to make them remember things. It's difficult to bring cutting-edge training whenever I am constantly having to teach a new guy the basic stuff over and over. How can I move him forward when I'm constantly having to go backwards? Mm-hmm. So if you have your city run that through your fire department, those people are here. They're going to be here. This is their career. This is their job. So they are going to stick with it. They are going to continue to strive to be better, to learn more, to do good. Nobody wants to get fired. This is my career. Mm. And so the level of care, they're going to know the streets. They're going to know how to get there better. They're going to know the fastest routes. They're going to know the local hospitals, the ins and outs as to where you need to go, what's the correct facility, so on and so on.
No, that makes perfect sense, actually.
So, so all that's my, I'm not a city leader, but to me, that's why they should do it. And for a long time, when here didn't do that, since this is where I live, I was having that mindset, and then knowing that it was a third city service, that was always something I didn't like. Mm-hmm. But, hey, that's the way they chose to do it back at the time. They don't do it that way now. Now they doing it with the way I just said.
Yeah.
Awesome. But that's just my opinion on that. But I enjoyed the medic side of it way more. It was more rewarding. And, fighting a fire fun. It's terrible. Yes, it's terrible. All that put into it. But at the end of the day, you're a firefighter. So the assumption is somebody's going to lose a home. Mm-hmm. Something's going to catch on fire. Somebody's got to be there to do it. So sometimes good men have to do things in bad times. So that kind of deal. That being said, is it fun fighting a fire? Is it going in there? Is it the adrenaline rush and all that kind of thing? Yeah, absolutely. It's a good time. But at the end of the day, it's putting the wet stuff on the red stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm dumbing it down. But for the most part, that is the mindset. That's ultimately what you're trying to do. And then all the cleanup afterwards and so on. The other side, the flip side of this, I'm talking about the fun of it all. But it's not lost on me. This person just lost their house. Mm-hmm. And all the memories associated with it all. And what a home means versus what a house means. And then heirlooms, family pictures, photos, moments in time captured that are gone.
They're gone, yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of thing, that's not lost on me. But car wrecks, stuff like that, from the the fire side of it, you're taking care of people. So I enjoyed the medic side of it more than I did the fire side of it. But that being said, a lot of scrutiny, even the poor medics, the guys in the back of the ambulance, the things that they have to keep up with, the things that they're responsible for or not responsible for, or allowed to do or not allowed to do. It's a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd always had an interest in law enforcement. So initially I had a tough time figuring out whether I want to be a fireman or I want to be a cop. Wasn't real sure. With the martial arts background, because some of my early instructors as well, two individuals that were instrumental in creating, at that time, the defensive tactics program for Fort Worth Police Department. And they had schools. And so I did training with them as well, looked up to those guys, really respected. So there was a lot of hesitation. What should I do? Because they're using their martial arts as their work also.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, I just decided that I wanted to get into that. While I was a fireman, I also moonlighted, if you will, as a SWAT medic for a SWAT team. And so really got an exposure to what SWAT stuff was like. I loved it. Thought it was awesome. Gun shooting, kicking, running, chasing, fighting, American dream, right?
Yeah.
So I was just like, this sounds like so much fun. It's super cool. And then I was a medic, so I was like, I have this skill set also. So man, I can kind of do both. So I did that. And anyway, so then decided I was gonna get back into public safety, and I was like, I'm going law enforcement this time. That's what I want to do. So as got into that, really enjoy it. It's what I do now currently. And so as that, I'm a patrol officer. I work at night, my choosing, because that's the type of police work that I enjoy doing. Most of that element occurs at night.
Mm-hmm.
The things I dislike about police work the most typically are the things you do during the day in the place that I work. And I don't enjoy doing that. So, hey, you're not working if you're doing something you love, right?
Right. Yeah.
So why would I choose to do that? So I don't. I'm not knocking it. We've got officers that absolutely love everything I can't stand, and vice versa. You need all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So because the things I enjoy doing, there's other officers, they want no part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Because again, it takes the community. It
Yeah,
doesn't just take one.
And it does. And that just kind of brings everything in a big circle of we all need each other.
Yeah.
We do all need each other.
Yeah. So, but within the police department, the whole time I was out of it, I was always still doing the martial arts thing. I still had my school, still do, obviously, but decided that I knew there was, so like you watch the videos, social media, I was late to it, but it started, I finally got on it, started watching lots of things, had cop friends, had firefighter friends, and I would watch these videos that would get released about things that were taking place and situations they'd find themselves in. And, it's definitely Monday morning quarterbacking, but from a subject matter expert, if you will, perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Was I a police officer at that time? No, I was not. But what I did have was a lifetime of martial arts, an entire adult lifetime of martial arts. So this year is 32 years. That's a long time devoted to something.
That's a long time, man.
Yeah, that's a long time devoted to something. And I've had a school for 28 years. That's a long time too.
That's a long time
for small business. I'm super proud of that. It is not me that's responsible for that. A lot of help, a lot of people throughout the years. My mother especially has been instrumental.
Great lady.
Yeah, thank you. In being there, because there's a lot of times I can't be, but who always can be? She. Like last night, we We had a student, a 14-year-old, got his junior black belt been training for 9 years, and he earned his black belt after 9 years of training. And so did that last night. And parents came up and asked her, hey, have you ever missed a class?
I was going to say that every time I'm there, I've seen her.
Yeah. And so, like I said, without her, so a lot of people have come and gone throughout the years, but the constant has been her for sure. And so it's been very rewarding to get to do that with your mother. A lot of people, especially in the line of work I've had for a while, is you see terrible family dynamics. And I'm fortunate not to have to deal with that. So it's been pretty special to get to do that with her and that kind of thing. But she has really been good at making sure that somebody's always there. There's some constants and so on. But that being said, I would watch these videos and watch what's going on and see things and just be like, man, there's some simple things these guys could do. And we could stop a lot of this. And then there's good things that come from police agencies releasing body cam footage, and there's terrible things about it. More often than not, I think what's lost, that we're our own worst enemy. These agencies that will release these body cam footages, which ones do they release? Only the bad ones, right? So what's the public think we are constantly doing?
Yeah, the bad things.
The bad things, yeah. And a lot of the oh shit moments, if you will, where the officer pulls their gun and think it's their taser and literally pulls the trigger and goes, taser, 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 pow.
Man.
And that happens, and that's a nationwide thing. And we release that video footage and that gets played over the news cycle constantly. Yeah. And, everybody will go out of their way, especially in business, but that is society and that is, the media machine as well. We need a narrative, and what image are we going to portray? Bad news is good news because it sells. So
yeah, it does. If it bleeds, 100%. It leads.
Yeah, 100%. So what are we constantly putting on the news cycle for everyone to watch? Our screw-ups. Now, you're watching our screw-ups at a time of panic, stress, and so on. A lot of that, I firmly believe, is because of lack of training and lack of quality training, putting someone in a bad situation in a training scenario so that when this really happens, it's the 15th time it's happened, not the first.
Yeah.
But the body cam footages we keep releasing and putting out there is only the bad things and only the stuff that's happening. What we probably should be putting out there sometimes is 90% of our interactions, it's boring as hell. Excuse me, I'm sorry, sir. You're going to have to go to jail. Can you turn around and put your hands behind your back? And you know what happens? They do.
They do.
It's like 8% of the interactions that we have are not that. So that's 92%. Like I said, graduated here. My math isn't the best, but 92% of our interactions are positive. Now, is it a positive thing to go to jail? No, it's not. But that is what we do, and people go to jail.
Happens.
So most of the time, that works out. It's pretty uneventful. There's not much to it. But the only thing we are portraying for the public and society to judge us by is what?
Yeah, the bad
all
things.
The negative shit.
All the negative shit.
Yep.
And I agree with that. I mean, and like you were talking about with the armchair quarterback too, you see a video and you're like, oh, well, I could have definitely done something like that better. And usually it's people that don't have no martial arts training or anything else. They have no training whatsoever. And I'm like, no, you have zero idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked to vets before that have done, combat missions and stuff like that. And they've done things, they've seen things. And then, they come here and they'll be like, well, I kind of want to fit that same, round hole in a round peg. So they'll become an officer. And then you hear them talk about, oh, I see way more shit as an officer than I did, being in war. And it's not the same,
No.
but you still see a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, you can't mentally prepare for every single thing
No,
that's
you
going to
can't.
happen.
No.
But yeah, I do agree with you with the training part of it. Like, hey, these are the bad situations. You already know what to do. Here it all is. You've been through it already this many times.
Yeah.
So when it does happen, hopefully, you know, what they call the lizard brain, you know, does the right thing instead of the wrong thing.
Yeah. So while I was sitting there in that interim, if you will, not involved, but wanting to be involved the whole time, I was like, I have this skill set, if you will, and I'm good at sharing it, and I'm good at communicating. And I think I'm a pretty decent teacher. So I've got this, and it's so easy if I could just be in a position to get that out there and somewhat make a bit of a difference. So if I can get hired somewhere, and maybe I can get in there, and what I want to do is take it over. And so wherever I'm at, I'm going to make sure that we're good. That's really what I'm ultimately trying to do. That was my mindset going into it. It may seem naive. It may seem little visions of grandeur, or it may seem a little arrogant. It may be all of that. I didn't know, but I had enough belief that I could make that happen. And I was like, you know, a lot of these things that I keep seeing, there's some pretty simple fixes here. And I also, at that time, I didn't know exactly what training they were receiving. I really didn't know. So I was like, you know, these answers are out there. They're everywhere. But I don't see these problems being solved. Again, I'm watching the same videos over and over, as I just mentioned, but you're just seeing it it's just the players are changing, but the results are the same. And so the one thing I noticed was so much of what's happening when it's bad, it's typically because officers are not prepared to be in a fight. And I didn't know why. I was like, how can an officer not be prepared to be in a fight?
Yeah, because I think that most
That
of the time
doesn't make
that's
any damn sense.
I was going to say that's, you know, when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
That, I mean,
so that was my mindset. Then I started watching a little more, and I was like, these people have such an over-reliance on their tool belt, if you will, and all the tools on it, that when something fails on their tool belt, they're out of options, because going hands-on is not even a thought. And they have no skills. They have no hard skills to deal with it. If their tool fails them, they're toast. So this is why some people are getting shot that probably shouldn't get shot. And, you know, and anyway, I was watching that kind of stuff over and over. And I was like, you know, if I ever get the opportunity to do that, I'm going to see what I can do and where this comes from to maybe try to build something so that, at least the little area that I'm at can kind of stop, and we can better prepare folks. So end up applying at an agency and got hired. And on my interview, I just was like, hell with it. I'm going for it. They're like, well, what are your goals? And I'm like, they go, we're assuming since you were a lieutenant, you were a division head, that you wanted to promote. And I go, nope. They're like, what? I go, no, I'm really not interested in that. Done that, and nothing wrong with it. It's for some people. I have no doubt in my abilities to lead, but I don't want to be burdened with the paperwork and the extra garbage that takes me away from doing the job itself. And so it's not so much about the money, it's about the work that I'm doing. To earn the money that I'm earning. I want to enjoy it, and I want to do it, and where I think I could be the most beneficial. I don't want to be stuck in an office. I literally just got through being stuck in an office, and this is a damn nightmare. So the last thing I want to do is go back to sitting in a damn office and not be able to go out and get in the shit, if you will, which is what I was missing and craving the whole time I wasn't. So, and the, you know, stark differences between the fire service and the police service. Fire service, I have to wait for something to happen.
Yeah.
I can't make a damn thing happen without ending up in jail. Well, police service, as police work goes, I can go out and make things happen. At least I can try. Because you never know what your night may hold in store. I don't know what calls are coming my way, but I can determine what I'm going to stop or not stop, or what I'm going to get into or not get into in my spare time. So I have some say-so over that.
Yeah.
If I have this inquisitive mind about, that just doesn't seem to look right to me, turn on some lights and go talk to somebody. So, you have that ability to do that. And so I was like, I just don't want to be taken away from that.
Yeah.
Someday I might want to be, I might want to promote, but been there, done that. I just want to work. I go, here's what I want to do. And I was like, and I don't even know who you got running it right now. I have no idea. So no offense to that guy or gal, whoever it may be, but I'm coming for their job. That's what I want. I want to take over your defensive tactics program, and I want it to be mine. I don't care what it is you do. I'm going to make it better. And I want people at this place to be better prepared for what's going on, how to do things, how to handle themselves, and know without question that if they need to go hands-on with somebody, they know what to do. Do I expect them to be me? No, I don't. I'm not trying to do that. But at least have a working knowledge that if they can't get to a taser, they can't get to a pistol, they can't use pepper spray, they can't use a baton, which is archaic as hell to me. But if I can't get to any of that, then I'm good. I still got a skill set to problem solve.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, well, it's pretty bold. And I go, yep, I mean every word of it. And so the guy that was actually over it happened to be in the room. And so, anyway, we had us a proving round. And so he had no problem handing that over, if you will. But anyway, so I go to the academy, and boy, my eyes were open. It's terrible. Most officers, that's the only training they get. That's the most immersive training that they're going to get.
And that's a shame.
They may get 40 hours in the academy devoted to it. But the rest of the time, there is so much penal code, that's so many laws and so on, that you're strapped down with, that the actual time spent on control and fighting tactics and stuff, minimal. And then what they're teaching, because of politics and so on, it's garbage.
Yeah.
So there's this stuff out there called PPCT, pressure point control techniques. And so basically it's like me pointing and poking and prodding with my fingers in different parts of the body that are pressure points to cause pain. Problem with it is if you're high, what are you not feeling?
You don't feel pain.
So
especially if you're on like methamphetamine or something.
Right. So like people always talk about like they're meth strong and that kind of deal. I don't know. So I don't know so much whether if that's a real thing. I know this is a hot take, if you will. I think it's more often than not it's a I don't feel pain thing. It doesn't make them super strong. It's that I don't feel pain. So I may be ripping something completely in half, fighting against you and doing all type of damage to myself and not even know it. It's not superhuman strength. That's my pain receptors not working.
They're not working. And if it's not saying, hey, this hurts, stop doing that.
Correct.
You're just going to keep going.
Right. And so many of the those techniques that they had them using for that kind of stuff relied heavily on, pain compliance. Well, what happens when it's not there?
Mm-hmm.
Then what are they going to do? You still have no control over somebody.
Mm-hmm.
If I spray someone with OC spray, what do I still got to go do? I got to go put my hands on them,
mm-hmm.
and I still got to get them in handcuffs. And I also have to worry about getting that shit all over me and dealing with it as well. But just because I spray somebody with OC spray, does that mean they're going to stop fighting?
No.
Absolutely not. No, not at all. So the more you can get your hands on somebody, the quicker you can do it and the faster you can manipulate that person into a position that they just don't know what to do, the easier and the quicker you have this person under control and then in custody.
And I would believe that's safer for
safer.
Both parties.
Everybody.
Not just the officer, but also.
And in today's litigious world, and that's a game changer. But so that's what's being taught at most of the academies, and it's garbage. And so I'm graduating, hitting the street, and I'm completely unprepared. And I have no idea what to do. And so many agencies out there, their DT tech practice is 8 hours every other year. That's it.
That's not very much.
No, not very much at all. And you ever seen a fat cop? Yeah. Okay. So believe it or not every one of them's a calendar model. How do you think he's going to get his fat ass through an 8-hour training day? Well, we're practicing fighting for 8 hours. He's not. So after hour 1, if we're kind of getting after doing anything worthwhile, he's done. So now he's still got 7 hours to go. He's dead. He is exhausted. So how much is he actually going to retain and be remembered?
Yeah.
No. He was hating showing up before he ever got there.
And that's kind of a shock to me too, because that there's not more like physical training that goes along with that, have to meet some kind of standard on, a 6-month base or something like that,
Right.
Because I honestly thought that there probably was that, yes, I have seen some officers that were overweight and stuff like that, but that doesn't mean that they can't pass what they needed to pass.
Sure.
But that's kind of the surprise that it's every other year and it's 8 hours and it's just that, and that's it.
That's not everywhere at all. That's how a lot of agencies are. That's how a lot of agencies are. That's just kind of how it works. I mean, there's a ton of things to consider, and not trying to sound like a chief, because I'm not, but there's a ton of things you've got to think about overtime. You've got to think about the timing, the scheduling. Where are we going to do it at? Who's going to teach it? How much are they going to charge to come out and do it? Is someone going to get hurt? And if they do get hurt, then we've got the workers' comp issue. And then we've got a scheduling conflict. And now we have time off. And then now we have to think about people with their vacation time, because now this shift is short because this person is off. So there's lots of other things. I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, but still, that's super important for the job.
100%.
And I think that priority should be a little bit higher up than some of those other things.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. I'm not making excuses. I'm putting out there that I understand some of the mindset. Now, I'll dispel it. The 3 most litigious things that any police department has to worry about is driving, shooting, and fighting. The 3 things most police departments practice the least: shooting, driving, and fighting. Shooting costs money because you got to buy ammo, and driving is super expensive because where are we going to do it at? And then in order to do it, we all have to have different vehicles. So the wear and tear on those, because most of them don't have extra vehicles just sitting around. They're on the streets. And we're going to trash a car running a whole PD through a driving course. That's going to eat up tires, going to eat up wheels, going to eat up brakes, hell on the motor, hell on the transmission, so on and so on and so on. What if that's a working, serviceable unit?
Yeah. Well, what about when you get, new vehicles, the old vehicles? Why can't you use those old vehicles?
Yes, completely understand. But sometimes some cities, the way that they do it is your old vehicles go to a different division within the city, and now those become their vehicles for them to drive because it's a recycle project.
But still, I was just saying there's an opportunity there.
Yeah. No, totally understand. So
I'm just pointing out the obvious.
Yeah. So that occurs. So we don't practice that either. And then we have to worry about our insurance, because what happens if we roll that thing while we're doing this class? And then throughout the course of the year, 365 days a year, what do you have on the street? Vehicles. because police department doesn't take a day off, right? So you've always got vehicles, and like it or not, you're going to have officers getting accidents. Whether it's their fault or not, it's irrelevant. Most of the time, the accidents that we do have are not our fault.
Well, I mean, see them all the time, pulling somebody over, walk
Yeah,
up to
gets
the
hit,
window,
sitting
boom, you know?
Yep. Happens all the time. Sometimes we are at fault, for sure. Most often, we're not. But that happens. What happens when we had a chase, ended in a cul-de-sac? The dude was a stolen vehicle, backs this work truck into the front of a brand new patrol vehicle, and it's a F-350 with a service body bed on the back of it. And it destroys the front of this brand new patrol vehicle. How do we prevent that? How do we stop that from happening?
Yeah, and you know, it just kind of popped into my head here too, because you know, I don't know how the patrol vehicles are, you know, built and all that stuff. I know they have the light bars and you know the back seats and the cages and you know all that kind of stuff is there. But I was wondering if there was any other kind of like extra roll cages that were put in there, any other kind of you know body braces.
Depends on where you work and what you budget for.
Gotcha.
That's the only way I can really answer that. Everybody's different. You can buy armored plated doors. Obviously, that's an upcharge to upfit a vehicle to be bulletproof protected. You can buy bullet rated glass. You can put push bars on them. You can put full replacement bumpers on them. Kind of up to your city, your budget, and how you put them together.
Gotcha.
It's kind of that.
Makes sense,
Every city has their own thing. So that's just kind of unique to the city itself, as far as that goes. So you have those two categories, and then the last one you have fighting. And depending on where you work, you might get 8 hours every other year.
Wow.
You may work at a super progressive. There are departments out there that are really, they're very progressive in their thought. Jiu-jitsu has become super popular. There's a certification course out there now. I was in like one of the inaugural classes. It's called Effective Fitness Combatives. And so I'm an instructor in that. And went to a class and got certified in it. Right away, when I first saw the advertisement for it, I go, this is what should be being taught. Because this right here is functional for policing. This helps you. This gives you a skill set. Whether you have a martial arts background or not, this helps prepare you for what this job is like. This gives you a great base. And so because I was so adamant about how good it was, and then the background that I had, they didn't have a problem sending me to it. So I went to it, got it, and I was like, yep, 100% dead on. This is the real deal. This is what we should be doing. Problem is, nationwide, we're still fighting PPCT because it's been proven safe and soft and mild.
Yeah, I never, because I remember in a class that we did a long time ago, and this was before you became an officer too. But you were talking about the training of it, and you were like, "This is what they train in the academy," and then like, "This is what works."
Yep.
And I was like,
Yeah.
"Why are they training the other thing when obviously there was no harm done, but the pain and the control that you had, with just a simple wrist lock, completely different from trying to drag somebody down or anything else." And I just remembered like those pointed conversations that we had with those little bitty training things that we were doing. It was eye-opening then.
Yeah.
And I don't get it, because the fact that, because you can't put somebody in a chokehold as an officer, right?
Every agency has their own policies. There are policies out there that they read that if you have the fear for your life or someone else's, that you feel the correct tool at the time is to put someone in what we call a carotid neck restraint, which is what you're talking about. Most of the time we refer to that as a rear naked choke in jiu-jitsu. That the way the policies will read is, if you perform this, then you are in fear of your life or someone else's. That being said, that policy could potentially also say, I can shoot you as well.
Yeah.
So you and I doing jiu-jitsu, knowing that across the world every night right now, There's millions of people getting the shit choked out of them, and they're going to be totally fine.
Yes.
Right? They're going to be completely fine, and it's going to happen probably. They'll get choked, and then 10 minutes later, they're choked again.
Yeah.
In the same damn night, over and over and over, right? And I'm not talking getting choked unconscious, but it's happening across the world right now as we speak. And these people are completely fine.
Yeah.
And it's happened nonstop. But they don't allow it. And it says, you know, hey, if you can do that, you could also shoot them. And me, you, knowing that we have that ability to do that, and you're like, wait a minute, I can just simply do this, and he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
He's going to wake up handcuffed.
Yeah. I was going to say he's going to wake up going, what happened?
But I, depending on what my policy may say, will say, you can't do that unless you could also shoot them.
Mm.
Make that make sense.
Yeah, that doesn't, yeah.
Now, I can make it make sense.
Yeah, but...
because what it is so many people aren't training, and so many people don't know, so they hang on too long. Or they make it, instead of a carotid neck restraint, whereby it's just a blood choke, they make it a choke where they crush the trachea.
Mm-hmm.
So lack of training, just notice a theme, lack of training actually causes them to do it wrong, where they actually end up hurting someone. That's why it's been removed from most places as an actual viable technique. However, if you're training jiu-jitsu on a common basis,
yeah. Agreed.
There's nothing to it.
But also but you could shoot them.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like from my perspective, that's wild.
You know, I'm like,
or I'm in the middle of it. Let's say I'm in the middle of it with somebody, and I'm like, I got their back. And we're rolling around. They don't know shit from Shinola, if you will.
Yeah.
And I've got their back, and they're looking this way, and they're up there gopher neck like a giraffe, and I'm just like,
yeah, won't take long.
I have to worry about getting my ass in trouble.
Yeah, which is crazy.
It's wild.
But I mean, even, my thought process is, again, so yeah, you can shoot them if you're in fear of your life or somebody else's life, that's probably pretty standard, correct?
That is a lot of places. Now, if you're a super progressive place with, like progressive in the mindset of the power of jiu-jitsu, and we're training constantly. There are police departments everywhere that they've started grappling clubs. They have black belts that they hire, that they teach DT, they teach classes. They have a dedicated mat room, and you can come here, and every day at noon we're doing jiu-jitsu, and it's open to anybody at the PD that wants to come. So there are agencies out there that are doing that now. What I'm trying to get done at my agency is I want to make it quarterly at a minimum. I want to make it quarterly. I want to get rid of 8-hour marathons.
Mm-hmm.
And because 8 hours is a long ass day. That's a professional fighter day.
Mm-hmm.
These cops, these are not athletes.
No, I 100% agree. Yeah.
So let's do 2 hours. Because in 2 hours, what are you going to give me? Some effort. Because in 2 hours it's over.
Yeah.
And then if I'm doing it in 2 hours and I'm doing it quarterly, what can I continue to do to your skill set? Hone it, refine it, and improve it. And I can always go back and test it too to see what your retainment is. And I know you've retained it because you're getting to show me repeatedly that it's going well and you're doing good. And then now we can move forward. I can make you better and give you some more because I know you have the foundational skill set to be effective. And so now let's add to it. Because in the beginning, everybody needs to have a plain Jane toolbox, like what you keep in the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
You open it up, it's got a multi-purpose screwdriver, a hammer, a roll of duct tape, and a crescent wrench. It won't do every job, but it does most jobs. But there's not a single tool in that thing you don't know how to use pretty damn good, pretty fast.
Yeah.
Once we get that done, and you know that in and out, let's go buy something else. Let's get a ratchet set.
Yeah.
Let's find some ways to do a job a little easier and a little faster. But I need you to know how to use these others first. I need you to know lefty, loosey, righty, tighty.
Yeah.
And so that's only going to happen, though, if our foundations are there.
No.
If not, then adding other tools isn't going to do you any good. I don't give a shit how awesome your taser is.
Yeah.
You can't get to the damn thing. That's a useless piece of shit. And then we have officers, what happens when their taser doesn't work?
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting there going, oh, shit, oh, shit. What do I do? What do I do? We have other officers that are super reliant on that taser, and they use it all the time. What happens when it doesn't work?
When it fails.
Yeah.
You know, that was the kind of struck another thing too when you were talking about, you know, the shooting and having to be so careful because you're completely accountable for every single bullet that comes out of the barrel of that weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And without like regular training,
You know, a lot of departments, not to cut you off, but I know where you're headed.
yeah,
You know, a lot of departments, they qualify once a year. They shoot once a year.
it's nuts, man. I just feel like there should be, you know, when something happens, when your gun fails, you know, certain types of jams, certain types of this, how to clear those things. That should be like very, very routine.
Yes, sir.
Where where you don't even think about it.
Yeah, agree completely. So many departments, their qualification is once a year. It's 50 rounds with a pistol. It's 50 rounds with a rifle. A rifle is an option. It's not a mandated thing. If you carry it, though, then you have to qualify with it.
Mm.
Totally agree with that. But whether it's a rifle or a pistol, in my opinion, if you are on patrol, you are on the streets, you should have to carry a rifle.
Yeah.
And if you say, well, if they're not good with it, they don't know how to use it. Well, then their ass needs to get familiar with it, because gunfighting 101, you use your pistol only to get to your rifle.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Without question.
That's to get you to the real gun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or if that weapon is no longer an option, because you're talking about something surgical.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Next to a Bowie knife. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? Like a scalpel with a Bowie knife. You know, it's night and day difference. If you can't qualify with the rifle, how are you qualifying with a pistol? And that's kind of my mindset
Because
with
the
it.
quals for most agencies are a lot of places you never shoot with a pistol further than, let's say, 15 to 25 yards, depending on the agency.
Mhm.
That's as far back as you're going to go with a pistol. Now, should you be out there making a 50-yard shot with a pistol? No, you should not.
Not unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah, because you're going to have, especially if you work at night. But you know, target discrimination.
Mhm.
What are they holding in their hand? That kind of thing. That shit's hard to do with a pistol. But with a rifle, with an optic that's magnified, yeah, I can start discriminating things. But so most of the time, that's how you get around with a pistol, not having to make a long shot most of the time, because most places don't go 15 to 25 yards back. That's it.
Gotcha.
And then a lot of the rifles, so like T-Cole, that's who sets the standards for policing in Texas. Their duty rifle, their patrol rifle qualification is you have to have at least 5 rounds at 100 yards. It doesn't specify whether you're open sights, a red dot, a holograph, or a LPVO, a limited power variable optic, meaning a scope with some magnification. It doesn't specify what you have on top of the gun. That's going to be up to your department, what their regulations are, aren't, or what options they give you. So it's a specific thing.
I think they should be able to use all.
I agree. I think that, you know, if I was chief for a day, everybody on patrol, you would have at least 2 LPVOs on shift every day for target discrimination purposes, so that if I'm at 100 yards, I can see what you got in your hand.
Yeah.
And if I need to take that shot, then I can make that happen. If I'm doing CQB and I'm inside a building, or CQC, whichever acronym you like, but close quarter battle, close quarter combat, whichever acronym you like, then most of the time you can definitely do it with an LPVO, but you should have a holograph. You should have a red dot to be able to move in and around and acquire that dot. But you should also always have the hard skills of knowing, if any of that shit fails, how to use open sights. Yes. But, you know, it's a stair step. But everybody should be a better rifle shooter than they are a pistol shooter.
Yeah.
You got more points of contact.
Mm-hmm.
But by and large, that's just not the case at most police departments, because they use the rifle the least.
Mm-hmm.
They have that pistol day in, day out.
Yeah.
But most of the qualifications at so many PDs, you know, like I said, it's once a year. and it's 50 rounds. That's it. That's all they're getting allotted. That's all the ammo they're given. They get to shoot that gun 50 rounds one time a year. If you want to shoot it any more than that, it's your ammo that you go buy and you find a place to shoot it. If you get some training, that's on you. If you get anything extra, it's all on you.
Yeah.
Some departments don't work that way. Some departments have instructors. They have shooting instructors, and they have ways that they can come out and they can help you. Some departments, they have extra training days. They devote days to shooting and time to shooting and so on, and you do it every quarter. Every department is different. But the standard across the U.S., unfortunately, is 50 rounds once a year.
Yeah,
and
wow.
most all of that qualification is static shooting, meaning you're standing still shooting. You're standing still and you're shooting. There are departments out there that your qualification is the exact same one that they have people doing in police academy. Now, if your ass is out there on the street and you have been working for 2 to 3 years, you're not new to shooting like that academy cadet is.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand them having that very basic, because this may be the first time they've ever even held a gun, much less shot the damn thing.
Yeah.
So I understand their qual being way watered down compared to that 3 and 4 year officer. But now that 3 and 4 year officer, they shouldn't be doing that police academy qualification.
Yeah.
You're not new to shooting.
Yeah, it should be a little.
Your ass
hard.
is on the street. And in my opinion, arrogant as it is, your SRO should be the best shot in your departments, because they're in schools day in, day out, and that's a target-rich environment if you fuck up.
Yeah.
And, you know, a standard score that's acceptable at most places, 70%.
Wow, good.
So I can miss 30% of my shots, and that's okay.
Sorry. Probably shouldn't laugh at
Yeah.
that.
It's messed up.
Yeah.
It's completely messed up, but that's where it's at.
Well, it's great to get some really
Yeah.
insight on
Some
that.
of those things are sad. It's sad. The whole point of all that is training.
Yeah. No,
So whether your department's providing it or not, ultimately it's on you. So like, I have personally gone out of my way to go and take classes to make me better at things that I felt I'm weak at.
Oh, yeah, your life's on the line every day.
That's the way I look at it. It's like, look, you're paying me to do this for you, so I should be able to do it. That's my responsibility. You're trusting me to do it, so I want you to know that when I show up, I am 100% an asset, not a liability.
Mm-hmm.
And that I don't want to walk in the room and somebody go, what a fat piece of shit. Could you send me someone else? You don't look like you can do a damn thing. You barely look like you can tie your shoes. What the hell are you going to do? That's a shitty thing to say on my part in some people's eyes, but it's a real thing. You talk to people, hey, how come you didn't resist me, but you 100%? Well, look at that dumb shit.
Yeah.
What looks difficult about that? Yeah, I'm running from that every day. Yeah, I'm not jacking with you because I look like I'm probably going to get my ass kicked.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm amazing. I just mean people project an image.
Mm-hmm.
I get asked all the time, well, I'm assuming with your background and stuff, you're probably in fights all the time. I'll be honest with you, I probably have the least amount of fights of most everybody at the PD.
Well, for one thing, even if it started, you're probably going to get that tied up before it even gets to that point.
Yeah.
So.
You know, I mean, I've been very fortunate that the ones that I have been involved in, they're over before they really start, for sure. And it's because, you know, I'm like 4 and 5 moves ahead before we really even get going.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been super beneficial, and that's really helpful. And so much of the guy that's on the street, they just don't know shit.
Yeah.
And most people are just full of shit.
So did they teach any kind of like psychological stuff, like look for body language, look for this, for that? Is there things like that they train you on? Because I think that could go a long way.
There are courses out there for that for sure. It kind of depends on who, like at the academy level, it depends on who your instructors are. And it also depends on the class and how well they're doing. If they're grasping things, then we can get more detailed with things. If they're not grasping, then I've got just so much other stuff I got to deal with. I don't even waste my time. But yes, we do spend time, like I've gone to several courses outside, so training courses on my own to develop skills and things like that. How do you determine someone's lying? What are indicators of deception? How do we set traps for people with our words and how we ask things, the order that we ask them in? What do you do with your voice? What's your inflection when I ask you certain things? Are you repeating something I say? Are you distancing yourself from something? We always call, certain things like the felony cigarette. So people that smoke, and I pull them over and start chit-chatting with them, if they light one up immediately, they usually know they're going to jail.
That would make sense. I guess if I knew, I'd probably do I have something?
Yeah. And now, is that 100%? Absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
But more often than not, you can kind of see. You can start seeing some patterns, some pattern recognition, stuff like that. You can see people and the way that the story starts falling apart. Or you talk to one and it's this, you talk to another and it's something completely different, don't make any sense. And so then you take this bullshit that this one said back to the other one, and you bullshit them. And then you get them to cave and follow the bullshit lie that they just fought. So now I know you're both lying. Just little things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff like that. And that's where also having seasoned people on your shift to learn stuff like that from is a big benefit. So people that, don't want to climb the ladder of success or instantly and immediately promote as fast as possible. They want to spend time on the street doing things like that, being out there so that they can help bring the next new crew up and be better, to teach things like that. So I'm an FTO, meaning a field training officer. And so that's what I do. When we get someone new out of the academy, or we hire someone, a lateral that's worked at another agency, and then they come to us, either way, they're required to ride with a field training officer for a certain amount of time. And during that time, then we're evaluating what they do, how they do things. Hey, this is how we do things here. This is how we go about this. Hey, on this particular stop, you parked the car like this. You walked up on this side. Your hands were here. Your attention was there. Did you see this? Did you see that? All these sorts of questions, teaching safety, teaching awareness, teaching pattern recognition. And then, are you applying the law correctly? That's pretty important too.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. And so that's what a lot of time spent as an FTO as well. And the better your recruit is, the more you can get into things. And sometimes they just don't make it.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
They just don't make it. That's the responsibility as an FTO. Do I want anybody to lose their job? No, I don't. Especially for us, if it's somebody we sent through the academy. We've had this person for 8 months, and they've been at the academy the entire time. We've been paying them a salary. They haven't done shit for us yet. They're at the academy, and now when they get out, they've got 3 months of training that they got to go through before they're going to be put on their own. After this 11 months go by, now this is someone who actually counts towards our shift. This is someone who's actually considered a good part of our department. It takes that long.
Yeah.
So to just shit can someone.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
That's a big deal. And then on top of that, it doesn't look good that if you do get rid of them, hey, you just went straight out of the academy, and then right out of the gate, you couldn't pass training. Why would I want to hire you to come try again here? Now, they do it all the time. But is it a good feeling to have to do that? No, don't. And then you got somebody, they've spent the last 8 months with all these hopes and dreams and visions that they want to do and so on. But that's the thing as an FTO. If I say you're good, I just put my reputation out there that you are good, and I'm telling everybody else they should trust you because I said so. To me, there's a hell of a lot of weight in my say-so, so you're damn well going to earn it. And the last one I had, he didn't make it. And I could tell early on into it, was not going to make it.
Yeah.
It was awful. But my responsibility was not his feelings.
And I 100% agree with that. You know, it can't be at that point. You know, there's a lot of factors that you have to take in.
Yeah.
You know, not just his own life or their own life, your life, other people's lives. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, and it's not an easy job. There's no possible way somebody could look at an officer and go like, oh, that's just the easiest job in the world, because it's not. It's probably the most, especially this day and age. You're constantly being recorded. You're constantly doing this, and it's like there's something above you too, where you were talking about, like with the media and everything else, where it's just ready to pounce on you.
Yeah, for sure.
As soon as you make a mistake,
sure.
You know.
Yeah, everybody's my boss.
Yeah,
everybody's an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows their rights.
Yeah,
this is shit you hear nonstop. Everybody pays my salary. I don't know shit. Everybody needs to talk to my supervisor. You know, I'm like, I've never really understood that one, because he or she works with me.
And
who you think they're going to side with?
You think they're going to?
Let's get them here, shall we? And by the way,
fine, Karen,
just because you
can talk
ask
to the manager.
Yeah. Just because you ask for them, I'm going to determine when they show up. You don't. I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to handle my business, and then you can talk to them. I don't really give a shit if you like that order or not, but that's how that's going to go.
Yeah.
So the damage is done at that point, and that's what a lot of people fail to see when they do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get a lot of that crap, and you get a lot of, I know my rights. You don't know shit. You don't know a damn thing. I mean, and so you get that one a ton. And I'm like, of course you know your rights. I can tell you know your rights because you just told me you did, and clearly you don't. You know, that kind of deal. It's just like, you didn't read me my rights. You get that all the time too. Yeah, man, I don't have to.
Mm-mm.
I'm not asking you any questions. The facts are the facts. You broke the law. I'm taking you to jail for it. I'm not going to interview you. I don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I'm not going to read your rights, because I'm not going to ask you a damn thing. But you get that all the time.
No, I'm sure.
I mean, that kind of stuff. And, you know, it's wild. And 90% of the time, police work's boring.
Boring.
It's just paperwork.
Yeah, paperwork.
It's a ton of paperwork.
What is it that you hear all the time in just TV shows and movies? Like, waiting is most of the game.
That's a lot of it.
Just a lot of sitting around and waiting.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. And then you get a lot of, there's a ton of paperwork. And then think about calls like this. A barking dog.
Yeah.
You're calling the police because your neighbor's dog is barking. What the hell do you want me to do? Go talk to it?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me either.
But we get that all the time. We'll be in the middle of a lot of shit going on, and somebody calls about somebody's music being too loud. And then we can't get to that high emergency call, of course, because we're handling real calls.
Mm-hmm.
And you call 4 times to complain that someone hadn't showed up yet. And then when I do show up after handling the real call, you proceed to want to chew my ass.
Man, just go knock on your neighbor's door and be like, hey, can you please turn the music down?
No one does that.
I mean,
people that call us do not do that.
That's crazy.
They do not do that at all. Or they call us and say, I do not want you contacting me, because I don't want my neighbor to know that it was me.
It was me, yeah.
Yes. So those sorts of things, those are what can grind on you. Those are the calls that can run people, burn people out.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And it happens. I mean, you just got to learn how to deal with it certain ways, certain things. We get across the United States, police are being asked to do things we should never be doing. I'm being asked to be a mental health crisis counselor.
Yeah. That's
hey, man, I'm not a therapist, and I'm not a psychologist, and I'm not a psychiatrist. And you're asking me to be a mental health expert?
Yeah.
That is not. I went to school for 8 months to be a cop.
Yeah.
And you're thinking in 8 months, I know how to keep you from blowing your head off?
Yeah. I
can get you to the right place where you need to be. I can get you to the help you need, but you have to notify me that you want the help. And you also have to be willing to go.
Yeah.
In certain regards, I can force the issue and I can arrest you to take you for your own good. And I can do stuff like that too. But the things that police are being called to do, it's far beyond what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I'm not a civil attorney. I don't know how to make you get along with your ex-wife, your child custody issues. That is not for me to decide.
Mm-hmm.
The judge said that y'all are supposed to exchange every other weekend, and now that you don't want to do it, that is not my issue. That's a civil issue between you guys.
Yeah. So I do have a question for you. This is we'll call it hypothetical.
Yeah.
Okay. So an officer says to somebody, "Hey, you have paperwork that says yes, this child has to go with this person on this day because they have paperwork that says that."
Mhm.
And then they're also told, if you allow that child to go, even if they call the cops, you say, "No, I don't want you to take the child. I'm going to keep them." The cops show up, there's paperwork, child has to go. If that person that took the child endangers that child, can the person that let the child go, not the officer is just there to say, "Hey, the paperwork says this is what has to be," that they can get filed with child endangerment?
If it can be proven that the kid was put in any type of actual real danger, then it can always be written up. Whether charges are actually going to proceed forward or not, it's going to be where you're at, your DA's office, what they choose to pursue or not pursue, and how much evidence is there to be able to move forward to potentially prosecute that. That's what's going to come into play. And that's where you're going to have to try to figure out how to prove that.
So this is where it came up with us. We were told by a police officer that if there's paperwork, that child has to go with his father. Now, if he goes with his father, and the police saying we have to make him go with his father because he's got court-ordered papers.
Yeah.
But if the father does something to him while the child is in his custody, you could be charged with child endangerment. We were told that.
Yeah, I don't know how that makes any sense.
I didn't think it made a lick of sense at all.
Yeah. I don't see where I work. I don't see them taking that forward ever, because how can you be held responsible for someone else's actions?
That's what I was thinking.
When you actually had a court document stating you needed to send this child with this person,
at the time,
who
we
has
like,
every right to have this person as dictated by the judge that produced that paperwork.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. But they flat out told me that. And I thought that was...
Yeah, that I don't get at all.
Crazy.
However, I'm not an attorney. That is civil law. That's not criminal law. Now, if there's actual child endangerment that took place, then yes, that becomes criminal, not civil. Police only deal in criminal, not civil issues. We give civil recommendations and civil advice, but that's what that is advice.
And, now sitting here thinking about it too, they might have said that too, so we wouldn't be there to hand off the child. Because if we're not there, how are we supposed to?
Yeah.
And that's what happened too. We ran. We weren't there on the days, so if you showed up at the house, it didn't matter.
Yeah. Child custody stuff, we really try to not get involved, because I went to school for 8 months. How long does somebody go to school to be a judge?
Yeah.
To be an attorney?
An attorney.
A whole lot longer.
A lot longer.
And so what they do is, I'm glad we don't become the deciding factor in most of that, because what a disaster.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
This is just a nightmare. And it's typically always heated for all the right reasons. I totally understand. And an unfortunate, shitty part of society is people are super shitty, and exes, male or female, use children as bargaining chips all the time, and they pit them against the other one in however favor it helps them.
Yeah, which is, I think, bullshit too.
And it's super shitty, and it's nonstop, and we get it all the time. And
I can only
get
imagine.
it constantly. And then welfare checks. Will you go look at my kid and put eyes on him? Okay, why? Well, he's supposed to be with his father this weekend, but his father's not answering the phone. Okay, not answering the phone for who? For me. well, you're his ex-wife.
Yeah.
I could kind of understand why he doesn't want to talk to you because our interaction's so peaceful. I kind of get it. I wouldn't answer the damn phone either. But that happens a ton. And I'll be like, hey, so is it his weekend to have him? Yeah, it is. It is. It's his weekend. And you want me to go check on him because of what? Because he won't answer the phone? No.
Yeah.
What? No. He's with his parents. He's with the person he's supposed to be with. You are just being nosy and annoying. It's his weekend to have them. If they don't want to answer the phone for you, we have no reason to believe that I should be going over there and interrupting his weekend. Now, in order to keep the peace, public service, most of the time, yeah, I'll go by there. But keep in mind, if he doesn't open the door, I can't make him open the door. I got to go.
And you probably got more important things to deal with as well.
Yeah, and so that happens a lot. But I've also been complained on in that exact scenario. Went over there, knocked on a door. It was the exact situation like I just said. And, of course, she was a total peach to talk to on the phone. And Dad answers the door. I look at the kid. I'm like, hey, buddy, what's going on? How you doing? Everything good? The kid's just being a kid, having fun. He's out in the backyard playing in the dirt. No shit. And Dad's like, yeah, ex-wife called, didn't she? And I'm like, yeah, man. Sure did. Yep, knew she would. She called my phone 72 times.
Good Lord.
And I go, seriously? He holds his phone up, 72 missed calls.
That's insane.
And I go, wow, man. And he goes, yeah, I figured y'all'd be over here. And I go, well, sir, I'm going to call and let her know I saw the kid and you have a good night. I will not be back. Okay? He goes, I appreciate it, but if you need to come back, come on back. Right? And because he knows the game, because this is nothing more than a game. Mm-hmm. And she's doing it nonstop. She's calling from Fort Worth. So call her back. Well, you didn't go over there. You know this how? You just didn't have time. Because if you did, you would have my kid with you right now. So your kid, and then I said the name, and then I described the kid and exactly what he had on. And she goes, yeah, that's him. And I go, lady, how else would I know all that shit if I hadn't put my eyes on him?
If I would have done something about it.
Well, I need you to go back and get him. Not happening. Have a good night, ma'am. This is how you're going to treat someone who called 911? Ma'am, I called you. I'm talking to you on my cell phone. You didn't call 911. I called you. This is my number that called you. You didn't call 911. Your argument's ignorant.
Yeah.
When she calls and complains. You know, again, I want to speak to a supervisor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just maddening shit like that.
That is pretty nuts, man.
Yeah. Super wild. Super wild.
Well, I want to talk about the school for just a second.
Yeah.
So I don't know a lot of the other prices in town.
Yeah, I don't either.
For schools. I have heard some, rumors here and there.
Yep.
I'll always suggest people to check out your school first, just because I know the training and the level of training they can get there. And $100 a month for unlimited classes is stupid cheap.
Yep. I agree.
Call around to some other places and you'll find out pretty quickly. Now I do know that, for the kids, what are the age groups again? So
do kids that are 4 to 6, that's called the Little Warriors class. It meets twice a week. It's for kids that are 4 to 6. Now all these age groups are kind of loose age groups. They're not hard set, right? Now, the one that is hard set is I don't start anybody until they are 4 or above. I will not teach a 3-year-old. Some 3-year-olds would be totally fine, but the majority are not.
Mm-hmm.
And you have some 5-year-olds that mentally are 3. So again, to have that buffer in there, we start at 4. And so it's 4 to 6-ish. There's a couple kids in class that are 7 or 8. It just depends on them and where they're at.
Yeah, that makes sense though.
Some kids may have autism. Some kids may be a little ADHD. Some kids are just a little slow to develop. So it's about what's the best fit for them. The smaller kids, it's their attention span, right? Their attention span's usually 30 minutes is max. You're going to grip it. And these are just normals. These aren't absolutes, but most of the time that's the case. So 4 to 6 year olds, they meet twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 6:30. That class is, more than anything, big accomplishments are, this is my left hand, this is my right hand. And then name and word association. That's kind of what the class is. I think it's stupid to teach the little kid like that, like this hardcore self-defense, because a 4-year-old's going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
Okay, come on. It's more important to teach that kid awareness,
Mm-hmm.
And then how to name and associate something. So if I tell a kid, let's throw a front punch, and that kid knows what I'm talking about, well, there's some learning there. Kid just associated a move with a name,
Mm-hmm.
and then a movement as well, and how to replicate that movement, and which hand am I asking for, and which way did it work, and so on. So, stuff like that is what accomplishments are in that class. And then, so I do a rotating curriculum. I don't do like if you go to a karate class, every night you're going to come in, throw kicks and punches. That's it. That's all you're going to do. So I have 1 week. So week 1 is sparring. So for that class, it's sparring fundamentals. I'm not putting gear on these kids. They're not making contact with each other. For some of them, it'd be okay, but most of the time it's a tear and snot fest.
Yeah.
And I just don't have the patience for that. So I teach them sparring fundamentals, how to move around, how to circle with someone, how to keep one side, how to blade off, how to move left, how to move right, how to move forwards, backwards, keep your guard up, move around, throw kicks and punches at someone while you're moving. So it starts building coordination, timing, rhythm, stuff like that. So that way, if they stay through that program and graduate into the next class, they already understand what the fundamentals of sparring are. So it's setting them up for the next class.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll throw kicks and punches at each other,
There's
and
no
they'll
contact,
work on
yeah.
that stuff. They're just not going to make contact. So then I have another week that is a self-defense week. So for that class, like if they get knocked down to the ground, how do I get back up and be able to protect myself? So like jiu-jitsu, a technical stand-up, how do I do that?
Yeah.
And then, how to, if I'm super close to somebody, I teach to throw elbows and knees and do like the running knee drill, and then how to open hand strike somebody, we call it palm heel, so that they learn how to do that. And then another thing we're starting to teach them how to do is, because they're little bodies, but they have big voices. So how to use their voice. So like the whole stranger danger thing. Because, if you look at statistics out there, the last thing an abductor wants is attention. So the louder this little shit can squeal and yell and scream and draw attention,
yeah.
that's the last thing that this dude wants. So stuff like that is what more beneficial for them as self-defense goes. And then I work on like awareness type things. So, hey, tell me, where is the white flag hanging in the room? Hey, where is the TV at? Okay. All right. Now close your eyes. Okay. Point to the street. It's awareness.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, that's
because
excellent.
90% of self-defense is being aware and preventing it before it actually took place,
Mm-hmm.
whether you're 4 or 40. So that's what a lot of that class is. That, to me, that sort of self-defense makes more sense for that age group.
Yeah, 100% actually.
So then I have the next week would be their jiu-jitsu week. Basics of jiu-jitsu. How to move around, how to guard, how to build up a knee shield, what the mount is, how to hold someone down, how to get out of the mount, how to buck, trap, and roll, just basic stuff like that. And then how to grab a hold of someone, how to clinch with someone, basic takedown, single leg, double leg. And then we let them roll around. Kids love to roll around and wrestle,
Oh yeah.
because
It's fun watching them too.
where the hell else are they going to get to do it? Because everywhere else, what are you telling them not to do?
Yeah. Stop wrestling.
Yeah,
around.
stop that.
Calm down.
And what am I doing? Have at it, man. Go get
after
them.
it.
Kill them. Right? So, and that's the only outlet they get to ever get something like that. So we give them an opportunity to let them use it. And they got all this pent up energy. So hey man, let's go. So they get to do it. And then the last week is the MMA week. So we just merged everything I just mentioned all into
All in 1 week. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then that cycle repeats. And that way, if a kid comes once a week, throughout the course of the month, they're still working on everything that we get to do. So that's kind of how I do that for that age group. And so it stays that way. I don't do belt tests. I don't do belt fees. or any of that. I know there's places that do them, so on. I think my attitude on this is, I just think that's all bullshit.
Yeah.
It's all a money grab,
Mm-hmm.
right? Who's the one teaching? Me. Who's the one giving them the straps? Me. So if I'm the one teaching them and I'm the one putting the strap on the belt, why the hell would I strap it if they didn't earn it? You shouldn't pay me for it. You're paying me to teach the damn class to begin with.
Yeah.
So then I'm putting the strap on there. I watched you do all that in order to get the damn things. Here's your belt. Why am I going to take a class away, do a belt test, and charge you for that as well?
Right.
The damn belt cost me $3.
Yeah.
You're paying me every month. Okay. I got you $3. I appreciate you being here. Right. And I'm not good at advertising. I almost exclusively do word of mouth. Right. And the reason why I do it that way is because, again, I don't want to be Walmart. I'm not Burger King. I'm not your way right away. And I'm also kind of like some people with beer. I'm an acquired taste because people are a little taken back sometimes with my straightforwardness, my bluntness.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't like it. So other people love it.
I don't have a problem with it.
But a lot, just it catches them off guard because it's just so straightforward. And it's not arrogance, it's not rudeness, it's just me. It's just, I'm super blunt. I'm just super straightforward. I don't really do the bullshit thing. This is it. And so that's how I do that class. That's how that class works. So that's the reason why I don't do belt tests, is for that reason. The next class is the kids, and it's the same rotation, but the class is now an hour long. It's the same days, Mondays and Thursdays. It's an hour long. The expectations are way higher because now we've got kids that are 7 to like 13 to 14. Just depends on the kid,
Mm-hmm.
right? And those expectations are greater. They actually spar. They make contact with each other. Now, we don't have people knocking each other's heads off. We don't have bloody noses, busted lips. Does it happen? Yes, it happens. It's a contact sport. Is it a nightly thing? No. But at the same time, in my opinion, it's super important that a kid knows that something bad can happen and life can still go on and they can still function, because that's going to serve them well.
100%.
Because so many things, the minute something bad happens, what happens to them?
Yeah.
The parent comes running over to coddle them. So now what do they expect for the rest of their life? To be coddled and everything should pause because something bad happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I don't give a shit, and it's not that I don't recognize that you got hurt. There's a difference between being injured and something hurting.
Correct.
So if they're injured, hey, we're stopping. We're going to take care of that. But if you're hurt or you just didn't like it, well, that's tough shit, pal. That's the world. Sooner you're used to it,
going, yeah.
Sooner you're used to it, the better you're going to be. Okay? Because right now you're 11 and you got punched in the nose. What do you think life's going to be like at 40?
Yeah.
Because then you're going to have some real problems.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know how to handle getting punched in the nose now, that's going to serve you well throughout life, because you know, yeah, that sucked, and I just need to keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
So the expectations are greater. The expectations are higher. They have to work harder. The little class, I'm their friend, because I have to be. It's the age group, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then the older class, I'm not so much their friend. I'm friendly. Doesn't mean I'm rude to them.
Yeah, but you're their coach.
But I have expectations, and I'm not giving two shits about whether you think I'm cool. I'm here to teach you, and I'm here to teach you a variety of things. One of them's humility. The other one is tenacity and resilience. And in order to be resilient, you have to overcome when something bad happens. And so a lot of times I just brush things off. Like when I see something happen and they're looking at me like, you gotta acknowledge that. I'm gonna be like, yeah, man, let's go. Come on. Because if I make it as it's no big deal and I don't really care, the moral accepting that the kid is a lot of times of, oh, well, this is just part of it. He doesn't care. I just need to keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
And so that happens over and over. And that teaches the kid that I can be accountable for myself and I can be strong and independent on my own. Because if mom or dad was sitting over there and we locked eyes, we would get tears.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the kid run over there to mom, and what happens? The epic meltdown.
Yeah.
Just boo-hoo-hoo, poor baby, let me take care of you, so on. I'm a parent too. I'm not trying to sound like I don't understand, but that's not what I'm there for.
Yeah.
So if I can get that kid to realize, hey, I can self-soothe, if you will, or I can know something bad happened, but I can continue on and do what needs to be done. If this kid in a real life situation is ever really attacked, you know what that person attacking him is not going to do?
Yeah.
Give two shits about his being uncomfortable.
100%.
And he's already going to have built in his head that I can move on and I can move forward and I can press ahead. I have something that needs to be done. I got a goal in front of me and I got to get it taken care of. So that kind of mindset's kind of what we're now able to start exploring with the kids and teaching and getting across to them, whether it's sparring or jiu-jitsu or the self-defense. So the self-defense stuff, it's curriculum based, meaning like for every belt level, we have certain moves that we have them do. One, we have to build some type of structure, but they're progressive. They're stair-stepped. Everything builds off the next thing. So the early belts, so like everybody starts, you walk through the door, you're a white belt. Your next belt, not for jiu-jitsu, but for this the mixed martial arts style, is a yellow belt. So for your yellow belt, you'll have 4 attacks. 4 attacks, you need to know how to get out of them. So you get attacked this way, this way, and this way, and this way. And so I have certain responses that I want you to do because what I'm doing is setting up gross motor movements so that it's easy for you to start figuring out, okay, when I get grabbed like this is what I do. It's big muscles doing big jobs. Nothing fine, nothing intricate. You're becoming a yellow belt. You've been here a month. You don't know much. So it makes no sense to teach intricate crap. You're not there.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the next belt, same thing. We've got some more attacks. But every belt, you're never allowed to forget what you learned the belt before. Because what good would it be to earn a black belt and you don't know how to do any of the basic shit again?
Well, yeah,
right. So everything is staggered, but everything you learned at yellow belt, those principles apply to gold. And now at gold, we apply some of the same things that we did for gold for orange. And then now we're going from orange to green. Green, we're introducing joint locks and some arm locks and stuff like that. And start introducing how to use jiu-jitsu as a escape tool and a defensive tool. And so then we start setting that process up. And now the next 2 belts, your blue and your purple, we start having you do the exact same defense that you learned at green belt, but now your attacker has a weapon. Reason being is we're not trying to teach a bunch of overcomplicated crap to a kid and have them get so caught up and so confused with all this intricate fancy stuff. Hey man, everything you just learned how to do without the weapon, you're doing exactly the same thing. We're just adding this to it. First it's a club, then after that it'll be a knife. Now I don't ever want a kid to get attacked by a knife, of course, but there's few considerations we need to do a little different if it's a club versus if it's a knife. I have more things that I have to worry about. But if I have the same principles throughout all 3 belt levels, the concept's always the same. So the likelihood of remembering something is way greater because they understand the concept of what it is that they're doing. So they can refine the same skill repeatedly over and over. And then once they start getting to the brown belt, the red, black, and then finally their black belt, I don't tell you what to do anymore. Because at this point, I have laid the foundation down for everything. All this unarmed stuff, how to get someone on the ground, how to defend against a weapon, whether it's a club or a knife, how to take them away, and then how to control somebody. And if any of the fancy stuff here at these weapon areas go to shit, you just fall back on what you started with. You learned how to kick and punch and strike in the beginning. So if any of this goes bad and the fancy stuff goes terrible, we just immediately default back to what I've been doing the longest, was kick and punching, knee and elbow grabbing.
Mm-hmm.
So one just falls back on the other. It's less to keep up with. It's easier to follow. But on these last few belts, I give you the attack. You come up with your own response, because self-defense is what you would do, not what I would do. And throughout the course of getting to this level, you are going to have figured out your likes and dislikes and what you like doing, what you don't like doing, what you're good at, what you're not good at. So me continually trying to force it on you is going to start confusing you, because you're trying to remember what it is I wanted you to do. No, at this point, ultimately self-defense is how would you respond? And when this one thing doesn't work, and we just change this one variable, well then what would you do in its place? It's not wrong as long as it works.
Yeah.
So, and all those previous belts are just teaching those concepts. So that way when you get to these latter stages, you already know, you have a good foundation, a good background, and you can just combine all of that to make it what you want it to be for you. And it's never wrong as long as it makes sense. So that's kind of how that's structured for the kids. And then that way it's something that they have to remember, kind of like going to school. They actually have to study something. They have to remember something. It's not just come in and throw some kicks and punches and spar and can you kick this kid's butt? It's like, do you actually have a skill set here?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that kid's class works. And do that very traditional as far as they wear gis, they earn their belts, they get a stripe, they get 3 stripes. So the first stripe means for their level, they know their kicks and punches. Doesn't mean they're perfect, it just means they know them. Name recognition, I can say, hey, show me this, and they can do it. Hey, what part of the foot are you hitting with? Hey, what part of the fist are you hitting with? They can give me those answers. And then the second stripe means for their belt level, they know their self-defense. They know, hey, you get attacked like this, what do you do? And they can show me. I don't have to show them. They know it.
Yeah.
I teach them in the beginning, but once I'm striping them, it's because they can do it without me having to show them. They know this is what I do. And then the third stripe means 1 and 2 look good. You've continued to improve them and refine them. Number 3 means your attitude at the school with the people that you work with is good. You're always giving me effort. Your body language is good when you're there. They're never going to be perfect, and they're going to come in and have bad days from time to time. But if you got the kid with that, and I'm getting that every single time I ask the group to do something, hey man, that's going to slow you down. Because, we're all going to get asked to do stuff in life that we don't really want to do. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have to do it anyway.
Yep.
So that's that lesson there. And then it also gives the parent an opportunity if they want to come to me and say, hey, he's really awesome here, but outside these walls, he's holy hell. Well, okay. Well, your attitude out of here sucks. So let's work on that before we start getting rewards in here.
I like that.
So that's what that third and final stripe is for. Once they've got all 3, shortly thereafter that, they'll get their next belt. And so it just continues progressively to work their way. Have certain time requirements between each belt. Just depends on the belt. Obviously, the higher the belt, the longer the wait.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. And as far as how fast or slow a kid's going to progress, I never compare one to the other because they're individuals. Yeah. It's a journey for everybody, so everybody's different. But it's, how are you doing? What are you grasping? How are you getting it? Can you recall stuff? Are you doing well? Can you move forward? How flustered are you? How do you perform under stress? How are you remembering things? Are you helping anybody else? Are you trying to actually help someone else get a little better? Are you backing off on someone that you can just tell, okay, I'm way better than this kid? So do you have enough humility about you to realize, okay, I don't need to murder this kid. Mm-hmm. I need to help this kid. So I'm trying to help them learn to build others up as well. So that kind of stuff is what's taking place in that class. So it's a fine line between being a hard ass and a caretaker.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in the middle. And I also got to learn the kid because every kid's about boundaries and they got to figure out what they are.
Mm-hmm.
They need to know what's accepted, what's not accepted. I also have to learn the kid because each one of them's going to be different. I may laugh and joke and cut up with one, and with the other, it's serious business only. And it's just because one kid needs one thing and another needs something different. So, I have a daughter and a son. They're two different people. And
Yeah.
I treat them differently. And it's because they're different folks. One needs stuff that the other doesn't. My daughter is she is me. My son he is the life of the party. Mr. knows everybody and always about a good time. Not a stranger in the room. Everybody's going to know who he is when he leaves. Happy-go-lucky and just super fun. Everything I'm not. They both need different things. That's okay. So I got to spend some time figuring that out. And that takes a little bit. But there's certain overriding principles that regardless of who the kid is, these are non-negotiable. I don't let the kid shit talk. Now, if they're giving a kid, like you and I giving each other good natured ribbing,
Yeah.
totally fine. I'm good with that. But like, hey, I'm going to shit talk you.
Yeah, that's different.
I don't put up with that at all. No, this isn't, basketball. This isn't that kind of thing. I don't put up with that not one bit. I mean, I will stop a class and I don't single kids out. I address the group because everything's a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't want to single a kid out, but the kid that I'm talking to knows I'm talking to him.
Yeah.
Pretty obvious. Because usually an event led to the group ass chewing, if you will. So that's how I try to do it, is that way. And then like with the adults on the striking's not near as popular as jiu-jitsu for all the reasons that make sense. People don't like getting kicked in the face. People don't like getting punched in the face, myself included. It sucks. But if you want to learn how to strike, you got to learn how to strike.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have somebody that comes in brand new. I don't put gear on them and say, go get them, good luck. I don't do that at all. You're going to spend a month just learning fundamentals and moving around with somebody. You may go do that longer than a month, depending on you and your comfort level. I don't want to rush anybody into it. We get a lot of people that are drawn to the martial arts that we get athletes, we get dorks. We get people who've been bullied their life and now they're 35 and they're scratching an itch that they didn't have the courage to do as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And now as a grown man, they're like, hey, I want to try this. I want to see what this is like. So and they're awkward and they're goofy and they're the person that probably was picked on pretty good bit. So they're still a little awkward and they're still a little goofy and they're not very athletic and they come in and try it out. Some stick with it for a while. Some they're done in one night. So you get a lot of that. And then you get others that come through the door and I mean, their fangs dripping and they just ready to, meat eaters.
Yeah.
Right away. And you get the natural athlete and you get the struggle bus. It's just all types and you get a variety of different people. You get some people coming in and it's like, God damn, what is going on with you? And you just don't know what the demons are between their ears.
Yeah.
So you get some of that too. So it's kind of all over the place, but we try to make the adult striking stuff comfortable. We want people to feel comfortable because there's already a stigma out there that you're going to walk through the door and you get your ass kicked. No, you're not. I don't do it that way. I don't have anybody spar first night. I just don't. Unless it's someone that comes through the door that says, hey, I've been doing this for a while. I got a bag full of stuff. It's obvious they got a bag full of stuff. And I can usually tell watching them move around in the warm up, okay, this guy's kind of knows what's going on. And usually I'll spar with them first. And then if that's kind of the feeler, if you will, not because I'm awesome, but because I'm not trying to win.
Agreed. Yeah.
I'm trying to assess where are you at.
Mm-hmm.
So before I turn you loose on someone else, I need to know that you're not going to be out here trying to hurt people.
Or not just headhunting or whatever. Yeah.
And unfortunately, if I'm like, you got to go, then that's part of it because I've had to do that before too. So we try to do that. And then as somebody starts to get more comfortable in what it is they're doing, then hey man, at a certain point, we're going to have to get some gear. Okay. Because we can only work on so much, but at this point, you don't know, and I don't know either, how you're going to react when you get hit.
Mm-hmm.
And another factor a lot of people don't see is, you may be fine at getting hit, but you have a problem hitting someone, because there's people that have that issue too. So it's a multitude of factors.
Yeah.
And so as far as the sparring goes, it's not like full-blown contact, we're trying to knock each other out kind of deal. Most everybody that comes there, it's a hobbyist thing. And we all got to go to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So nobody wants to walk out of there getting paid to get beat up. And so, so we try to make it so like, I need you to know you got hit, but I don't need you seeing stars after every engagement.
Yeah.
So there's a fine line there. Now, the longer you do it, the more comfortable you are with it, the more your body gets used to stuff, and the more you can somewhat take, and then the more you kind of want to test yourself, and then also the more that you want to engage, the more you want to do. All that's totally natural, but it's a progression.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a sink or swim. And so that's how we kind of, how we structure all of those classes. And then the jiu-jitsu class is for adults only. Jerry does let some kids at a certain age group, but it's his call, come in and join his jiu-jitsu class. But the jiu-jitsu class, there's no striking. It's mainly jiu-jitsu. There are some takedown stuff, but mainly jiu-jitsu. Most of it's gi, meaning the uniform's worn. They do some no gi, meaning you wear like the super tight rash guards or compression, because we have people that do compete. You're not required to compete. It's 100% up to you. It's kind of what you're comfortable with. And if you want to go that avenue, he can help you with it. Jerry's phenomenal.
Yes, he is.
Really, really good. He is 8 up with jiu-jitsu more than almost anybody I've ever met.
Yeah.
That's not a negative.
Nope, not at all.
It's just the man loves it. Loves it, and has a job that affords him the ability and the time to be able to do it as much as he does. So he can help you with all of that. And he's going to personally become involved with you. His wife does the same.
Mm-hmm.
The crew, the OG crew, if you will, that have been very diligent, basically since we started, Kyler, Amy, and Brock, and Jason. That crew has been very, very consistent. They're the pillars, if you will, and they're very welcoming. They're very helpful to people. Again, very egoless. Even though they are really good.
Yeah, they're killers, man.
Yeah, and they are going at it all the time. So they're doing it. And then we have people that they don't do that. They're just there when they can be there, and they come in and do the class, and then they go home. They're done. They checked out, and that's cool too. So it's again, like with anything, you have people that come and they're there for a while, and you have other people that are there for a minute. It just kind of depends. It's up to you, however you choose to do it. And so nothing happens fast in jiu-jitsu other than you being terrible.
Yep.
That's pretty normal.
Yeah, that happens pretty much your first class starts.
100%. Just to cut away all the mystique and bullshit, you need to be comfortable being terrible for a year. If you're not just upfront with that and yourself, then you're going to hate it. Now, in that year, are you going to have little wins? Yeah, absolutely you are. So the fact that it's taking longer for them to submit you or put you in a shitty position, that's a win, because that means improvement.
Yeah, I remember the first time that coach only submitted me twice in a 5-minute round instead of 4 or 5 times in a 5-minute round. I was like, yeah.
So that kind of thing, you've got to reside yourself to that right out of the gate. This whole idiot mindset that especially guys come in with, I'm just going to see red, bro. Eat shit. Get out of here with that. That's ignorant. Because in jiu-jitsu, it doesn't make a damn.
Nope.
Not at all. Yes, size and strength is a thing, but I will 100% go to my grave telling you jiu-jitsu is a superpower. And if I know it and you don't, most of the time you're screwed. Yeah, that's just what it is. It is It is probably like if I had to tell a cop today, hey, I'm going to become a cop, what do I need to do? 100% get in jiu-jitsu. 100 do it. I mean, again, this is no absolute, but a blue belt in the jiu-jitsu gym for policing, that's a black belt on the street, without question. You are over-prepared, by and large.
Yeah.
Right. But it really is that big of a skill set. It really, really is. I wish that was a requirement. Obviously, police academy would have to be longer. Two big things I wish police academy did better. I don't think you should be allowed to be a cop till you're 25 because of life experience.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then I also think that you should earn a blue belt because it's just kind of prepare you better for your job.
Yeah, I mean, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, because you're going to learn how to deal with people because there's a confidence that comes from knowing you can handle yourself. Earlier on, when I said that I don't get in a lot of altercations, I'm not saying I haven't, because I have. However, I don't end up in a lot of them that a lot of other people end up in. Now, obviously, I don't come across as a bullshitter. But the confidence that I have, it's not a false confidence and it's not an arrogance, but the confidence in that I know, hey, if we have to go hands on, we got to go hands on. It's just a matter of fact. I don't think of it any other way. My voice doesn't change up or down. I don't issue threats or statements. I get the bullshit bark, if you will, from the person.
Oh, yeah.
And I just straight up, I'll be like, well, if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. I'm prepared. Are you? I mean, we could do it that way. I'm cool with it. But we don't have to. All right? I'm kind of hoping that's not what we do. But if we do, here's what happens. You're still going to get in handcuffs. We're going to have to go to the hospital. Then we get cleared there. Your ass is still going to jail.
Yeah.
What you want to do? There's a confidence that comes with it.
Yeah.
It's not an arrogance, but, and if I'm yelling and screaming and flipping out, most of that's posturing. It's just me trying to scare you into the fact that I'm amazing. I don't do that. And that is very unnerving for a lot of people who are just posturing to you. So stuff like that, that's where if you have the confidence in knowing you can handle yourself, it really, really comes across differently compared to the person who's just full of shit.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing about jiu-jitsu is it sets aside and calls out all the bullshit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But he's really good at helping people with that stuff. And then judo is basically it's, how to get somebody on the ground, how to throw someone down from a standing position. And a lot of people will be like, well, that don't make a lot of sense because who walks around wearing that? Okay, well, this is Texas. You don't wear a coat?
Right.
We all wear coats. We wear T-shirts. You can be choked unconscious with your damn T-shirt.
100% you can.
Do some jiu-jitsu. You'll find out real quick how your jacket can be used to strangle you. That class is on Fridays. And so the guy that teaches that, he got his name's Joe. He got his black belt in judo from individuals passed away now, but his son was on the Olympic judo team. And so that's who Joe got his black belt from. And so he's teaching that class on Friday evenings. The jiu-jitsu class is on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Sundays. And then if you join the group, they also use the GroupMe app because jiu-jitsu becomes very addictive.
They do mornings.
And so they're all over.
They're meeting up all different times of the day.
All different times. Sometimes these psychos are there at 5 a.m.
Yep.
And then other times, they're there at Friday evening. If Joe doesn't have a class or after Joe's class or before Joe's class, sometimes they meet Saturday morning. Sometimes they meet Saturday evening. Then they meet Sundays. So if you join that group, but irregardless, all the adult classes and every class I just mentioned, for one person, it's $100 a month and you get all that.
That's amazing.
I don't do contracts. I don't do enrollment fees.
They don't have to buy your gi and your shorts and your shirts and all that stuff and only wear that. That's pretty fantastic too, by the way.
I sell T-shirts. If you want one, cool. If you don't want one, don't. I don't care. If you want one of our gis, I can get you one. If you don't want one of ours and you want a different one from a different brand, awesome. Have at it. It's your money. If you want some patches for it, let me know. I'll get you some patches. And then we do rash guards from time to time. I haven't done shorts. I did look into shorts one time, but we just didn't have enough people interested. I had to have like a minimum amount.
Yeah.
And for the cost of it, it just wasn't cost prohibitive. So we haven't done shorts yet. But there's again, for the schools that do things full time, there are a lot of things like I say, it's a scam, that kind of deal. Obviously, it's not my full time job. It's a side job. It's a passion project, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's a business, and I do want to make money and that kind of thing. But that is not my sole purpose. I don't want to trade standards and quality for quantity and a dollar. There are the McDojos out there, and basically what I mean by that is, so McDonald's. There's a McDonald's on every damn corner all over the place, all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm in Japan and go order a Big Mac, it tastes the same as if I go over here on West Henderson and order a Big Mac. You get the same shit everywhere you go. There's nothing unique about it. It's a McDojo. So a lot of chain schools, it's the same damn thing. There's no uniqueness to it. Sometimes they're teaching stuff that's really good. Sometimes they are just teaching garbage, and it's about $1. And they charge ridiculous contract fees, enrollment fees. There's jiu-jitsu schools out there that an enrollment fee is $450, and then you pay $200 a month.
That's insane.
And then anything you want to wear inside this room has to be my stuff. That's pretty common.
Mm-hmm.
And then a stripe will cost you anywhere from $35 to $75. And obviously there's 4 stripes for every belt. And then some jiu-jitsu schools do a belt test. Some don't. They just do a promotion day. Some charge for it. Some don't charge for it. Not telling anybody how to run their business or not run their business, but those are just things that places do. Those are all industry standards. Some schools, like if you want to spar, well, hey, your class is twice a week, and it costs you $200 a month. You paid $400 down to join my program. And then after that, and it's a 32-week contract where you will pay me $200 a month. At the end of this 32 weeks, you will be this belt. Now, whether you know shit or not, it's irregardless. But at the end of this contract, you will be this belt.
That's wild to me too.
And then what's going to happen is I'm going to re-up you for the next belt. And at the end of this 32 weeks, you will be this belt. And then if you want to come to sparring nights, well, then you're going to have to pay an extra fee to come to that class. And then you're going to need to buy gear as well. So there are a lot of places that do stuff like that.
Man, you got to be rich just to do martial arts in some of these schools.
Yeah. So I don't do it that way. I don't like it that way. We do have a program like that here in town, wildly successful. And I will tell you straight up, I'm glad they're here. And that may sound ridiculous. It may sound stupid as can be, right? And here's why I'm glad. Because everybody that loves them would hate me. And vice versa.
Yeah.
They have gotten my students that absolutely love them. And I'm great. I'm good with it. Sincerely mean it. And then I have gotten their students. I've even gotten their black belts. And every one of them has come to me and quit because I am too hard.
Wow.
Because they have gotten used to a certain something else that was a facade. I'm not that.
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad they're here because the people that are looking for that, they have somewhere to go. And ultimately, I want you to end up where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm forcing you to stay because I'm trying to just get your dollar, that's a constant pain in my ass.
Yeah.
Because I'm constantly having to work and keep you happy and happy. No, man, this is what we do. You either like it or you don't. I'm hoping you do. But if you don't, that's cool. And most of us have like-minded friends. So if you're bringing your kids down there and you like what we do, you're going to tell somebody else about it. Because, and if you like what I'm doing, then you probably agree with my thoughts on some things, at least in this avenue. So then you're going to tell somebody else, and then they're going to tell somebody else. And ultimately, what do I have a room full of? Like-minded people.
Yeah.
And so you know what that's not for me? Work. It's easy money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean that from a
I think I know what you're saying.
from a scam standpoint, but that's easy. That's not work for me.
Yeah,
That makes the things so much easier.
Makes it easier on everybody.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, brother. Well, man, I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
This is a good talk.
Yep.
Again, everybody, Jason Jones. Check out Rogue MMA. All right, bye, everybody.